Yes, there is a letter here from the IG. It shows that there was a normal reassignment of the security details of our deputy president. Although many Kenyans have read mischief on what happened today, according to the IG's office, the National Police Service, through its various units, it's mandated to provide security to the government buildings and critical infrastructure, including the security of the VVIPs and their residents. Today, 26th August 2021, the security of the government building unit, SGB, has been deployed to provide general security to the official residence of the Deputy President, the GSU. Now, this is the normal reassignment of the duties within the National Police Service to enhance efficiency and effectiveness. The Presidential Escort Unit continues to provide close protection security to His Excellency, the Deputy President. The letter is signed by Bruno Shioso, the Director of Corporate Communications Person and National Police Service, 26th August 2021. There are Kenyans who are reading mischief on what happened at the residence of the Deputy President. What do you think happened? Was it a normal routine reassignment, or there was a political angle to what happened? Talk to us. This is our nation, and we need to be able to understand and analyze issues as they happen. So you're welcome to the studio. We can have a brief discussion on that before we call it a night. We have seen a few people, a few leaders react on the same, and I don't know. Okay, what is your take on this, on the issues of security? And is it that we are playing victim each time the government makes a move, or is the government playing politics in everything that pertains to our deputy president? Welcome to the studio. Let me share the link. I already see people have started commenting. Kuna ule ashaanza tu na matusi, sijui ni nini mbaya na yeye. Hakuna kitu tumesema ambaye inamkera. Anthony says, let me see what Anthony says. Anthony says it's normal to bring back those who are manning all his premises. We don't want side shows. According to Anthony, those are side shows. What is Kelvin saying? Kelvin, okay. The comment ya Kelvin may disappear. He was saying something very interesting here. Kelvin anasema sasa hii njama ya kutoa GSU ilitoka wapi? Now, Kelvin, I don't know how to answer you, but I was just reading a comment from Professor Makau Mutua, and I don't know whether it's comical or he said that when you remove GSU and bring in AP, you are actually implementing bottom up, that AP is the lowest rank in terms of security. So maybe the IG was implementing the bottom-up model. What do you think? uh, Ama we should not implement the bottom-up model in this security whatever. Uh, Francis Owaka ameamua tu matusi, sawa tu, sisi tuko tu hii Kenya, hata ukitutuzi hatutaenda mahali. Jedi wa Kichuki, okay, ile kitu amesema sijaelewa. Karibu Robert, karibu Mala. Let's have we can weave in on the topic. What do you think happened today? Because I've seen Eldoret, people are not asleep, and I don't know how did they interpret the IG's move. Robert, talk to us, Bona. Today we want to have a brief session and we call it a day.
Yes, Wekesa, good evening.
Good evening, Bona.
Uh, today we are witnessing one of the anticipated events that
Mm,
people have just been mentioning the peripheries of this country,
mm,
but all these things were meant to happen because you can
mm,
remember it started with the Jubilee officials. One of the Jubilee vice chairman is on record saying that they are planning to, all the plans to evacuate the deputy from his residence was underway. So some of these things that we are witnessing were actually anticipated. To my view, it's very unfortunate uh, because uh, it is the office, not the individual, that the constitution gives some of these privileges. So it doesn't matter who occupies that space at a particular time, but I, 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 I am in. I'm really uh, not in support of what have just happened. If we call it change of guard, call it maybe the normal operations of our police service. This is some of the things that we would not want to witness happening to any leader, whether you support him or you don't support him. Uh, it is high time we need to understand that some of these securities, some of these budgetary allocations are not actually uh, given to an individual, but it is given to the office. So it is high time that people separate the office from the individual that is occupying that office, so that whatever it is accorded to that office should be given to that particular office, irrespective of who occupies that office. But whatever we're witnessing is like what we call in politics, it's intimidation in terms of the best language that we can give it. It is intimidation to try and see whether what kind of action the DP will take, either maybe to force him to resign or something of the sort. But to me, I wouldn't encourage such a thing to happen to any leader in this country, let alone the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto, because it exposes him to a lot of things. Remember, VVIP security is not just a security is not just a security that any other police service can be assigned, and that's why you have those special guys like the well-trained GSU and well-trained specifically for that particular job, so that they give some of the best security to this VVIP. So withdrawing them and actually replacing them with the APs, to me, I see that is even the Inspector General Hilary Mutembai has actually breached the Constitution, because the Constitution is very clear on how some of these protocols are supposed to be handled. The VVIP, for example, is supposed to be handled by uh, the general that is taking care of the GSU wing of forces. So if uh, this was changed, then Kenyans really need to be made understand to understand why all these operations were made, and to what motive, what do they intend to achieve, what was that important thing that really made them to call for the VVIP security at the deputy president's residence, and replace them with a mere AP soldiers. It is something that we are supposed to be worried about, because we are not only looking for Kenya today, we are also looking for Kenya tomorrow, because someone else will occupy that office. Maybe Baraza or myself, Wekesa or myself or Sarah or someone else. And if we don't correct some of these things today, uh, tomorrow we might find ourselves in the same situation. So if the law allows uh, the someone who occupies that particular office at that particular time to get some of the security apparatus, then there should be no any other reason to deny him or her those security apparatus. If you have other ways of maybe playing politics, then you should actually put it on other field rather than rather than mixing it with security issues, because security issues are national important issues that we should not actually joke with. Wekesa, in my view, this was uncalled for. This is something that we shouldn't witness in our country in this point in time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your opening remarks. Thank you. Someone to mute. Okay. Let's hear this before we proceed.
It's not a favor that you give to the deputy president to give him security. It's a right, yeah, and it is Kenyans who actually put him there as a deputy president. So I think those overzealous people, and the IG actually also will have to answer to that, who are now trying to frustrate the deputy president by removing security, will know that it is counterproductive. It is working actually against their intentions. If you're trying to remove his security so that he does not move around, Kenyans will protect him. Yeah? And I just want to encourage and really advise these overzealous officers who are playing politics with their offices to leave politics to us, the politicians. As we will do the politics. Let them do their work. But IG, Mutiambai, CS Matiangi, PS Kibicho, leave politics to politicians, or resign and join us in politics. So I think it's a very unfortunate and very unstrategic thing. Of course, you know, my political stand is very different. You know, I've not associated politically with him. My members here have, but I stand for justice and I stand for truth. And I think it is extremely reckless, it is extremely careless that his security has been withdrawn, and it must be reinstated. If it is not, and anything happens to the deputy president, the IG will be answerable, and the CS for Interior will be answerable.
When you think about it, the office that the deputy president holds, he holds it in trust for the people of Kenya. And we should not forget that the deputy president was elected as a ticket, because we would not expect them to be withdrawing the security of the head of state. They cannot also be withdrawing the security of the deputy president. So we are saying that it is incumbent upon government to ensure that the deputy president is secured, because at this time Kenya cannot afford the panic na tumbo joto hilo ambalo wanaweka wananchi kwa wakati huu, kuweka watu katika hali ya kiwewe wakati kama huu ambapo tunajua wananchi wana ghadhabu zaidi wakijua yale mashida ambayo tuko nayo wakati huu. Kuenda kuondoa usalama wa deputy president ni kuwaweka wananchi tumbo joto na kuleta kiwewe katika nchi hii, ambapo wangekuwa wanashughulikia masuala mengine ya muhimu zaidi kutumikia nchi hii.
So was that a premature statement, or they actually captured right what is happening? Or the IG alisema yeye alikuwa wanafanya tu the normal security reassignment. Our leaders and Kenyans have a different view. So you're welcome, Mala. Make your contribution. What do you think happened?
Okay, thank you, Wekesa. Again, I've been mentioning this is about 2022. It's about PPI. It's about the state panicking, the head of state. It's about the coming together of the other leaders against the deputy president. As you can see, the act is illegal, and as we've seen, Sagaja has even mentioned that it's counterproductive. It is actually working against them. According to them, is that they are trying to frustrate the fellow, but instead, I see them marketing the guy. So it's an unfortunate incident, and I'm sure within some 1 or 2 weeks, the security is going to be reinstated again, because Kenyans will never accept this. Whether you love the deputy president or you hate him, respect the office. It is a constitutional office in Kenya, the one for the president and the deputy president. So I think Kipicho, Matiang'i, and Inspector General, instructed by the head of state of this country, are all wrong, and they are likely to put this country in a lot of problems. Thank you, Mr. Wekesa. That is my submission for today.
Thank you for your submission, brief and straight to the point. Okay, we go to Alfred. Alfred, are you there? Alfred.
Yeah, Mr. Wekesa, I'm here. I'm here, Mr. Wekesa.
Yeah, I know issues of security people are brief to the point. So can you make your submission?
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in the studio. I just want to say that on issues pertaining to security in our country, we have to say it as it is in the Constitution. We know the role of the security personnel as non-partisan, and what we've seen today is totally a disgraceful kind of a manner, whereby we were expecting our Inspector General to act as non-partisan. By the way, sometimes we may differ with politicians. I myself am not supporting William Samoei Ruto. But for this case, let us respect each and everyone's personal security. For instance, if today we can we have even the leader of opposition, Honorable Raila Odinga, I believe he has security, and I think we understand about security details in that we have what we call high-profile security. These are the kind of the security personnel who have been trained to guard and safeguard all those people we refer to as VIBs. These are the high commissioners, these are the CS, these are the president, and those people we group them as a high profile persons in the country. So according to my view, Wekeza, I believe this was sort of disgraceful. And by the way, let me just preview with some few histories to what happened to Professor George Saitoti Telet. What happened to him? When you read history about George Saitoti, before his death, remember that the last job he bought it when he was going for a rambe, it was on a Sunday. What happened? His security and plus the pilot was changed on a night before he traveled. So this is something which has been happening in Kenya, and this is historical assassination has been happening in Kenya. I may not term it to be an attempt assassination for William Samoei Ruto, but these are the signs of assassinations to William Samoei Ruto. Let me say this again. If you read a history about one inspector by the name Kilonzo, he was assassinated by the government. And this is the issues that they have been doing. They withdraw the security from the person, and then after some few days, something strange happens to the person. What does this show you? This was an assassination attempt by the government. And we may not fear to say it is. We know the responsibilities of the commander of the GSU. One of the responsibility is to ensure that he provides security to the president and the deputy president and the people of high commissioners. So what happens? You cannot just
Alfred,
yes.
you know, the words you are using are very heavy, and you see these are open public channel for all. Actually, do you have anything to prove that the change of guard has anything to do with assassination? You know, that's a very serious allegation. I think let's debate soberly without putting too much
Mr. Wekesa,
conclusions, because you cannot substantiate what you're saying.
Mr. Wekesa.
Yes.
I believe you heard me saying very well that historically when you read history about the late Professor Joyce Saitoti, his security details were withdrawn. Do you remember changing of the pilots? The pilots from which was scheduled to fly Prophet Joyce Saitoti was changed in the night before his travel. So these are something which has been happening in Kenya, and we want to commend such kind of acts whereby the government removes some security details of the high-profile persons in the country.
In that case, people. I'm saying this, in that case, people learned it later. But
yes.
in a case where things are happening on a broad daylight and the security is being replaced, and even there's a letter written, can even if you are a fool, can you plan assassination in a broad daylight? Even if you are
Mr. Wekesa, let me answer you like this, huh?
Yes.
Yes. Can you do this? When you change a GSU, which you know the responsibility of a GSU is to provide security for the president and the deputy president. And you know GSU are trained to protect high-profile person like the Reka squad. And you put an AB officer. You know the responsibility of an AB officer and the responsibilities of a Reka squad officer. Is that not a way of weakening the security of the deputy president or any other person? I don't mean to be the deputy president only, any other high-profile person. When you remove somebody who has been trained...
They are saying, the part 4 of the letter, they say that the presidential escort unit continues to provide close protection security to His Excellency the Deputy President. What do you make of that?
From where? Is it from? Let me ask you. Will you be guarding your compound when you are in America, or you employ a watchman to guard your compound? So those are the issues they are just trying to blackmail us.
Yeah, and that's
So
why for
why
me
do you
I
have to
say
take someone's
I
security?
only stick with the facts and not insinuation. If that is what they are saying, then
That is why.
Okay, because their argument was, oh, okay, it was done in a broad daylight, and they said it was a normal change of security. So it's only Kenyans who read too much from it. I don't know. What do you think? Why are Kenyans reading too much from it? Or do we want to gain political mileage from it?
Mr. Wekesa, it is not about the issue of gaining political mileage. We know exactly what has been happening in Kenya about the issue of trying to do with deputy president. You remember of late what happened in Mombasa, whereby we was supposed to attend a burial ceremony from where, and then at somehow the police was sent. It destroyed some of those tents and disrupt all that meeting. So those are the facts that has been happening in the Republic. You heard about the president's when he was being interviewed. He was saying that I'm daring my deputy to resign if he doesn't feel he's fit in the government. So those are some of the cooking issues which has been happening in the Republic, Mr. Wekesa.
Okay. Thank you for your submission. Yeah. Next is anaitwa nani? Sarah, and then Ayaga. Sarah, uko around?
Yes.
Tuambie.
Good morning, good evening, good night.
Yes, all of the above.
All of them. Yeah, all of the above. I think, Wekesa, let us not put this thing on a political devices. Let us put these things as a leader of this country. With me, that withdrawal.
Okay, our network is having issue. Our network is having issue. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, continue. This one doesn't have a voice, so you can continue.
Okay. So to me, I think that thing was called for. In fact, the security persons, they should be independent, not liaising with these politicians and with this administration. I think security is a body of its own. Hii kitu ya venye wamefanya leo, it is really unfair because today it will be Ruto, tomorrow will be someone else, the other day will be another person. So I think we need to clear this thing once and for all for the benefit of this country. I think kila mahali, kila watu sahi wamewekwa joto. Where are we wedding? And we are every day we are preaching that we are one Kenya, despite our political differences. But we are all Kenyans. Hakuna mtu mwingine anasema gana huyu ni Mwethiopia ama ni nani, but sisi wote ni wa Kenya. Of which we need to see this thing. Can the president come out clearly and talk about this thing and these people of security? Because I know Reka Squad are the ESU. Since I was born, I knew those are the guys who are guarding any prominent person, not the APs. not the APs. So if there is anything that this government is hiding, let them come out clearly and tell us. You know, because you might see tomorrow, maybe they are with the Raila. The other day is Kalonzo Musyoka. Where will we be heading? So we need to see this thing as this thing, and it has happened today to Ruto. Tomorrow will be someone else. What is our feedback? What is our talk of the day? How can we safeguard this thing? Because unaona wengine wanafanya kama hawa ni politician na ni administrators. So what is that? Leave politicians to politicians and leave administration, let administration be administrators only. Si wachanganye huku kuchanganya kila mahali. Yenye hata huwezi jua huyu mtu anafanya kazi gani. So please, that thing of today, and we need also prayers. This thing imali inaelekea hapana. No, please. So for now, that is for my feedback for now.
Okay, thank you. Next was Ayaga.
Okay. I hope everybody is well.
Yeah, tuko poa.
Mko poa, asante sana. Let me start by condemning what happened today. Any reasonable human being with an upright mind cannot support such things. It is very dangerous to the core and very bad. But the security law was first tried when William Samoei Arap Ruto was president. But because those laws were affecting Raila Odinga and the NASA company at that time, they could not complain. The people who are coming here to complain today are the same people who are celebrating when those laws were being used to withdraw securities of Raila Odinga and his colleagues, and even some of the MPs in 2016. That is the hypocrite we have in our society. Let us stop hypocrites. Let us be right-minded. Have a liberal mind. Something is wrong. It is wrong. Let us not have a situation where something is wrong because it's attacking you and the people you like. And it is very nice when it is attacking the other people at a point where he feels that those people are my opposite, are in the opposition or opposite ideology. It's very wrong. It is very wrong in a society like Kenya where we are using the constitution for an AG or a minister of internal security, even the office of the president, to withdraw the security of a sitting deputy president. It's very wrong. It should not even happen anywhere in Earth. But Kenya is really shocking us. And I think William Ruto supporters should be afraid of this. You know, Alfred was saying something, but then Rekesa interrupt. It is true. You know, when your security has grown, you are being placed in a line of death. Ruto is an institution. He has enemies, so many enemies, likewise to the supporters. It is true. Somebody like that, you should not just go overnight and change the security. Even the change of guard should be prepared. Should be something that has been discussed. Yeah, you cannot just walk one day. You say in a span of 2 hours you have changed the security. It is very wrong. Something, if it is wrong, it is wrong. Either to Raila Odinga, the people who are supporting it when it was happening to Raila Odinga. Thank you that now you are back to your senses. That thing was dangerous and wrong. And now you should even, number one, they should even apologize for passing stupid laws. That day when Orengo was telling them that the revolution you are making will eat its own children. Now that law is now dealing with them today. The government, they were supporting to the, even supporting and celebrating the death of his son. That government is today dealing with them. So we should not see, it is not something that is new. It is things that have been happening in this country. Number one, face the mountain Kenya. I want to Kenya. I want to face Mount Kenya with the security of William Ruto. There are 3 or 4 scenarios that are proving that Kenya is lying to William Samoei Arap Ruto. Number one, when the BBI people were voting BBI, all Mount Kenya counties voted yes. William Ruto stood with his own principle. And the same people are coming here to tell us how Ruto is popular in their review. When the nullification was just done last week, the celebration was only in Eldoret and somewhere in Baringo. You never see such. Same as what happened today. The life of somebody they are saying they vote. I don't know if they want to vote a dead William or what. Or I don't know what is going on in this country. Because what happens today, called for sitting and demonstration, a show of solidarity. I only saw it in English. And maybe some parts of what is Mount Kenya. He is about Ruto Mount Kenya. Do they want to believe? Do they want to have Ruto like the way they pretend to love Saitoti until Saitoti perished on Ngong Forest? They should come up and show William Ruto solidarity when he needed them like now. This is the time. Somebody was telling me that those things happen only in Eldoret. Even in Karenia, and Ruto was inside that. I think that Baba was inside there. We could have just left there and providing him for the security. Even those AP could have not been allowed in that area. So Mount Kenya, it is time you show William Samoei solidarity that you love him. Because we love somebody like me, I support Raila Odinga, but I also want a strong candidate. Because in life you should not be given something on a silver platter. I need a life William in the ballot. I don't need a weekend Ruto who has been suppressed by even withdrawing the security. Because once you withdraw the security of William Ruto, special Reke squad, that guy will not even be able to move in certain places in this nation. And he's number 2. So suppose anything can happen to him. Please, Mount Kenya, stand with William Ruto. He needs you now. This is the time. We want to see the ticketing tomorrow in Nyeri. It is allowed by law, not even demonstration as such. Ticketing are allowed by law. So, please stand with this guy at this moment. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your contribution. Next is your banner imenifunika. Next is I think Jets came before. Let's go to Jets and then we go to Mwalimu. Has been trying, then network inamsumbua, finally is here. Mwalimu Ekesa and then Ango Sedi and we have Jex.
Hello everyone.
Yes.
Let me first respond to my friend Ayaga. My friends, I am from Mount Kenya, and Mount Kenya is Rutonate. We have not changed the stand.
Good evening, my friends.
You are done. Okay, thank you. That was very brief and straight for response.
Good evening.
Next, Ango.
Yes, sir.
I've been nimekuwa nikikusikia hapa live. I'm happy that kuna mmoja alitoka hivi nikapata opportunity ya kusikia. First of all, nataka kuwarudishia shukrani. Wengi mnanijua.
Hey my brother, huwezi fika tu ndo naanza, singoje kwanza. There are people hata nimefikiria ni nani ndiye anaongea. There is a queue bwana, yaani umefika tu hata utaki kukaa chini.
Sawa sawa.
Ya kidogo tu there are not many people, utafikiwa tu saizi. Kuna Ango Sedi and then nani ameenda wapi? Jedi ameenda wapi? Okay, let's have Ango Sedi, then Jex, then we come back to nani amerudi. Jed.
Hey, good evening guys. Yeah, today mimi kama supporter wa Ruto, ile kitu imefanyika si kitu mzuri, na according to me mimi nimefurahia because as much as mnatupiga, the whole world inatuona mkitupiga. It will be advantage.
Huyo network ilikuwa inamsumbua na amepotea. And sometimes mtu akipotea namna hivyo wana blame the moderator, wanafikiria amemnyonga, lakini hiyo ni network tu inamsumbua. Okay. Jex and then Jedi.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, my network is misbehaving.
Yeah, make your contribution before you are dropped off.
Yes, sorry, it's about the network. Okay, my friend Ayaga, I was telling you that
amepotea tena. She has a network problem. Jex, are you available to make your comment? Ama utaongea baadaye?
Yes, I am. Niko hapa few minutes kabla hata mimi sijakuwa dropped. I made a promise to Ayaga we shall meet live. I can see him anakunywa maji as he prepares for me. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you, Sarah, Robert, Sam, Code Frank. I can see you. Thank you for being here. And Kenneth Mboga. Thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure to be part of the panel. So the issue on the ground is interesting. I don't know why I couldn't echo. So as I was saying, it is interesting because someone asked me a question. We are only 10 months away to the next general election. We have no clue who will win the presidency. What will happen if the people we despise finally become the guys in power? You know, we might be, as Ayaga said, you might celebrate thinking, oh, Ruto anaumizwa, he deserves it, blah, blah, blah. But no one should be treated like that. We should all respect what is entitled to all of us through the Constitution. And he's entitled to security. He's entitled to be given all the largesse that comes with his office. And it should never be taken as a favor. It is his right. So to me, I think there's a guy who said it's good what they are doing in one way or another, because believe you me, I'll tell you this with all authority, we shall capitalize on this when campaign time comes. Believe you me, if you have always said we will know how to do sympathy, this today, you created for us a moment to create sympathy votes, and we shall capitalize. Trust me, this one shall be used against you in a court of law or in a field of campaign. The other thing is, we are forgetting that if, for example, Ruto wins, the president, when he retires, I think he needs security. How would he feel if he served the same plate as he has served Ruto today? How would he feel if the person he has created in form of an enemy in Ruto becomes the president? It will be so ashaming to hand him power. It will be so discouraging to those who felt that Kumbe at his deep state is powerful, only to be ashamed by the millions of Kenyans. Believe you me, God, you might shake your head, but I know every vote counts. It is not automatic that if you're in good books with the president, you automatically be a president next. All I know is this: tomorrow we'll have a different president. It might be Ruto, it might be Raila, it might be whoever, it can even be me. But I know, as someone said here, that Kalma is a beach, that soon this one shall be replicated. We know Kibaki is protected wherever he is. Uhuru is young, he will have more years, so we'll have more time to revenge this. That's not a threat. I'm through.
Oh, I thought it's network problem. Okay, thank you for that brief and substantive contribution. Okay, we move to J Frank. J Frank, then Kennedy Mabonga.
Sawa, nataka kwenda kuongea pole pole. Nitakuwa interrupted na mtu mwingine. Hapa nimemaliza, you free kuniuliza. Nataka niongee pole pole.
Huko ni malini ba.
Nikimaliza
Kwani umeweka CD hapo ina scratch?
Hello.
kitu yenye li happen leo. Oe, mambo ya CD achana nayo bwana. So kituambia what happened?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
You know, I need Kenya happen today.
Kuna mtu hajamute na anaongea.
Pole lakini.
The rest let's mute. Let's have one person talking kindly.
Sawa, nataka kusema chenye kimehappen leo, ninaunga mkono nitaongea nikimaliza uniulize maswali. Usinikatishe kwa njiani. Kitu ya kwanza, William Ruto has been in the government since 2013 up to now. Hiyo ni 8 years ama 9 years inaenda kuisha. Ukiangalia from 2013 to 2017 what has been happening, ukiangalia vile watu wa code walikuwa treatiwa kama maumbwa zimekufa, that's what is happening now.
Where is our speaker?
Okay.
Where is our speaker? Okay. Let's have Kennedy before he comes back and he makes his contribution.
Okay.
Yes, what do you want?
Thank you, Wekesa. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think somebody should mute the microphone. Thank you. Wekesa, can you hear me? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys, and I'm very glad that this is happening. Like we can have a talk about this. And whatever is happening today is very unfortunate. It is something that has been happening in history of Kenya all along. The withdrawal of security and maybe the intimidations that maybe happen to people who do not run in line with the government. But truth of the matter is, we know that 75, around 70 or 75% of Kenyans are Christians. But what I'm wondering is whether we are Christians professing Christianity. Now, most of the speakers who have just who spoke earlier talked about the things that were happening earlier in the days, and it's kind of a repetition of what is happening today. There's a friend of mine who used to tell me that when death knocks onto your door, that is when you will realize that you cannot maybe mourn in English, but you will use your mother tongue to mourn. People do not feel the pain when somebody else is suffering. Like when we are running projects on gender-based violence, the pain of, let me use, for lack of a better word, let me use this, the pain of a raped sister is deeper than the pain of a raped girl somewhere. When you listen to a story of somebody who has been raped somewhere, it is just a story, but it no longer becomes a story when it is when it is in your house. When you talk about poverty, it would be a story when you look or when you watch it on TV, but it no longer becomes a story when poverty knocks into your door. And the whole of these things that are happenings that we are aware of. These are things that we are sure of. These are things that we have seen. These are things that we are used to. It is not the first time that securities are being withdrawn, maybe to people who are entitled to them. But then, all in all, even if it's a karma, the way some people have said that it is their turn, it is not proper. It is not proper because as Christians, we do not need to go to that extent of making somebody feel so unworthy or making somebody feel so useless. But then again, we need also to remind ourselves that the first thing that happens is we are human beings. Then the second thing that happens is we identify ourselves with the regions we come from, or we identify ourselves with tribes. But if we were given a chance to be children under 5 years, we wouldn't really know what our tribes are. And that is the truth. So today, what happens, what was happening in Eldoret, people picketing, I really do not support that too. And the idea that maybe some people would call for picketing in other parts of the country, I wouldn't really support that too. Because what is being built in Kenya today is kind of an animosity that is driving us towards the election. Now we are going towards the election with the mind of this is our own and he is being intimidated. This is our enemy. When he is being intimidated, we should be happy. That is a mind that we should not carry into the 2022 election, because if it happens, trust me, something bad is going to happen than the 2007, when an animosity is built, when we see our own being targeted or being mistreated. It's like somebody mistreating your own father. Even if your father is just bad, somebody would not just come outrightly to tell you onto your face that your father is bad. There must be a way. So I feel that the government is not so right to do that. The paradox of the matter now is this is still a person considered the second person in command. The only thing that is happening here that now makes him face all this is he is fighting the same government he is within, he is in from within. So this is what is happening. So if the government can make a decision that his security is withdrawn, and presumably he is part of this government, then now that is the paradox. That is the question that we need to ask ourselves. What really happened? It's like two people married and they are not sharing bedroom. The question would be, what is happening? Where did the rain start beating us? And then we get answers on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your contribution. We move to, unless kuna swali, we move to the next person.
Okay, sir.
Is there a question related to that?
Okay, sir.
Yes?
I only gave my opening remarks. I didn't give my submission.
But that is what everybody is doing. They are doing opening remarks.
I would request for another chance,
Maybe
brother.
the second round is coming. Let's do, yeah, we only have two people here. Let's do Abdullah and then Dominic, then we can go second round. Abdullah ako? Network leo hata mimi inanisumbua. Abdullah?
Yes, mnanisikia?
Yeah, kindly make your submission.
Kitu kwanza first mimi mimi upande yangu kama Mkenya niko na furaha sana leo. Mimi ni Mkenya, niko na furaha kabisa. Kwa sababu mimi nasema hivyo, hii Kenya sisi tumekaa sana. Wakati kulikuwa na Rais Kenyatta, dhibiti wake alikuwa ni mtu ambaye mtulivu, mtu ambaye anakubaliana na yeye, na mtu ambaye anaweza kusukuma hii Kenya isonge mbele. Wakati ya Moi ilikuwa hivyo. Wakati ya Kibaki ilikuwa hivyo. Sasa hii tukiangalia sasa, President Uhuru Kenyatta amepata dhibiti ambaye ni dictator, dhibiti ambaye hawezi kasaidia hii Kenya, lakini kazi yake ni kudanganya vijana. Sasa rais mwenyewe ameona ya kwamba hawezi kufanya kazi peke yake, ndio juzi akasema huyu jamaa resign. Na sisi tunajua kwa sababu gani Rais Uhuru Kenyatta anasema hivyo. Sasa ukiangalia kwa mfano, mimi nimetoka Mandera. Hakuna siku Deputy President William Ruto alipeleka huko wheelbarrow. Lakini Deputy President William Ruto kila wheelbarrow anapeleka tu Mount Kenya. Kwani Mount Kenya walizaliwa na wheelbarrow? Vitu zingine natakana sisi tufikirie. Hii ni njama ya kuhakikisha kwamba ni kugawanya Mount Kenya na kuangamiza Mount Kenya uchumi yao. Na mimi nashangaa sometimes mtu ambaye ametoka Mount Kenya, ambaye akuna akili yake timamu, anaweza kusema labda mimi nitasupport William Ruto. Huyu mtu lazima kuna shida fulani ako nao. Kwa sababu sisi wa Kenya tunaangalia ya kwamba uchumi ya Kenya vile inaendelea. Sasa kama mtu mwenyewe hawezi kusupport rais wake, uchumi wa Kenya itaendelea vipi? Lazima sisi vijana ndio natakana tufikirie. Sio wazee wanatueleza jambo hivi na hivi. Hii mtu ni dangerous kwetu, kwa Wakenya wote. Kwa hivyo kama rais kama anabembelezwa kama mtoto mdogo, anapatwa mititi kila siku. Uhuru Kenyatta ni rais wetu. Na sisi inafaa, hata ukiangalia dini ya Kristo, mtu ambaye ni kiongozi yako lazima uheshimu. Uislamu pia unatuambia kama kiongozi yako lazima uheshimu. Sasa kama kuanzia 2017 tulifanya kura na William Ruto aliweza kuchukua aliweza kutangaza almost magavana karibu 40 kwa system ambayo ni corruption 49% sijui 59%, I don't know. Na hivyo kuanzia 2017 anafanya kampeni mpaka sasa hii. Kwa nini sisi vijana hatuwezi kumwambia yeye kwamba wacha siasa mapema, wacha siasa ya mapema ni kuangamiza uchumi wetu na kuharibu kila kitu yetu wa Kenya. Na sisi wa Kenya ni watu wa amani. Lakini mimi ningeambia Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ni rais ambaye ukiangalia kwamba yeye hana uchafu na mtu, hana ubaya na mtu. Ni ametulia kama mtu amekaa kwa maji, ametulia kabisa. Mimi huyu kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu yeye hataki kusumbua mtu. Hakuna siku ametukana William Ruto, hakuna siku ametukana mtu mwingine, lakini Rais Uhuru Kenyatta anatukana kila siku kama mtoto mdogo. Sasa hawa jeshi wameondoka, hata mimi nimeona nimekosa kupelekwa polisi huko. Yeye anatakana kae raia kama raia.
Mtembe nataka kuongea bwana.
Kama inatakana akae kama raia na aweze kukula tear gas bila kila Raila walikuwa wanakula tear gas. Hivyo Kenya inaweza kuwa na amani. Kenya, ukitaka kuwa Kenya na amani, security yote details ya William Ruto ichukuliwe, waache yeye mwenyewe aone ya kwamba ako opposition leader. Kitu ambaye sisi tunashangaa nao. Hakuna siku alienda Moyale kufanya kazi kampeni. Hakuna siku alienda Sialo. Hakuna siku anaenda Garissa. Hakuna siku ameenda Mandera. Hakuna siku ameenda Kisumu. Yeye Mount Kenya, kitu gani iko muhimu kwa Mount Kenya? Ni nini kwa nini nataka kugawanya hao Mount Kenya? Na ukiangalia unity, sisi kwa mfano watu wa Mandera 2013 tulikuwa tumeshikana unity. Na hiyo unity sisi tulikopi kwa hao watu Mount Kenya kwa sababu kuna pahali lingine ambayo huko Mandera ukiangalia sasa hii watu wanasemanga Kiambu. Maana yake ni nini? Unity, watu ambao wako na msimamo. Lakini watu ambao wako na msimamo sasa kuna nyoka wameingia katikati yao. Na hiyo nyoka haijulikani amepaka dawa gani. Unashangaa mtu ambaye ametoka Mount Kenya yote anasema Ruto, haki ya Mungu acha aingie. Ile mtu ako hapa ndani nafikiria kuna watu ambao Mount Kenya wametoka huko ndani. Waache huyu mtu aingie president ndio mtu kuja kusema kwa nini tulikosea nini? Mtakuja kujuta. Kwa hivyo mimi ningeambia William Ruto tafadhali resign. Atoke kwa serikali. Uhuru Kenyatta afanye kazi. Na sisi tunaona kazi yake vile amefanya. Ukitembea kwa Nairobi sasa unaona barabara vile imetengenezwa kila kona ya sasa jama kuna Nairobi. Kuanzia hapa mpaka Mombasa unapanda train. Sasa kama kazi unataka kufanya alafu mtu wako mtu ambaye anakufuatilia anakupinga, utafanya kazi vipi? Hiyo kitu haiwezekani kusema kweli ndugu zangu. Lazima tuelezane. Sio unapenda mtu, penda mtu lakini jiulize huyu mtu alikuwa waziri wa agriculture. Watu wa Rift Valley sasa wanateseka kwa sababu ya chakula. Baka sasa watu ambao wamefanya kazi ya mahindi, baka sasa pesa yao mahindi hawajapata. Damu ambayo imechimbwa baka sasa hawajamalizwa. Na huyu mtu tu anakuambia, anakutembelea, anakuambia hasala. Sasa mimi sometimes mimi nashangaa. Nataka mnisikize vizuri. Mimi nashangaa sometimes mtu anasema hasala. Sasa kwa nini huyu mtu anasema yeye ni mcha Mungu na yeye ni mtu ambaye anapata kanisa? Kwa nini anataka kupambana na Mwenyezi Mungu? Na Mwenyezi Mungu mwenyewe anajua kufanya, amejua kwa sababu gani amefanya mimi maskini na amekufanya wewe tajiri. Kama kweli watu wote watakuwa tajiri, nani ataenda kufanyia mtu mwingine kazi? Hii ni fitna, hii ni uongo, hii ni propaganda. Kwa sababu Mwenyezi Mungu mwenyewe amefikiria kwa sababu gani hakutufanya sisi wote wadosi. Na Mwenyezi Mungu kama kwa mfano sisi wote ni wadosi, na atakujengea nyumba. Nani atakujengea nyumba ya ghorofa? Ni lazima sisi vijana tufikirie. Kama mtu anakaribia karibu na William Ruto, tafadhali eleza ukweli. Mwambie kabla hajatudanganya saa hii. Ile ahadi ametufanyia 2013 na 2017. Tunataka zile uwanja alikuwa anasema tunahitaji. Zile watoto wa shule amesemekana free tunahitaji. Vitu zote alikuwa ameahidi sisi tunataka. Kama hiyo kitu hakutimiza.
So let me ask you,
huyu jamaa wadanganye.
Let me ask you, my brother. How is the promises related to his security? How is the promises you made?
Hiyo security, sikiza, hiyo security alifanywa kitu kwanza ili akienda pahali popote ambaye anaenda kufanya kampeni, security haitakani iwe karibu yake. Security ikuwa karibu yake, jamaa atapata security. Sasa next week ninyi sasa mnashangaa, lakini next week utaisikia kwamba hakuna pahali Ruto ataenda kufanya kampeni. Hiyo kitu ya security nyinyi mtakuja kwa baada ya siku 2 siku 3. Wao mpaka 2022 ikifika ukoona William Ruto anaenda William Ruto anaenda kupiga kampeni pale popote.
Are you happy that when your enemy is denied chance to campaign? Or you are happy with that? Yeah, so why are you saying that it will make him not to campaign?
This man is dangerous kwa sababu hii mtu ni hatari. How comes na sisi tunataka kufanya kazi? Kampeni gani anatuonesha sisi? Sisi tuko na shida, tuko na COVID-19, tuko na problem. Watu wanakufa sasa kila pahali kwa sababu yake. Anapeleka Kiambu COVID-19, anapeleka Meru COVID-19. Why?
Okay, thank you.
Toa.
Kiprono, you had a question? Kiprono. Kiprono.
Huyo ajui mada mtoe.
Yeah, uliza.
Huyu jamaa bana, hii withdrawal of security cannot be entitled. Hiyo ni mambo ya government na mimi najua vile inakaa. So mambo ya huyu jamaa kuongea mambo zingine hawachana nayo. Security ya deputy president is entitled. Yes. Ndio maana mimi kwa nini security kwa entitled. Hao majamaa wa Romeo wanakuaga pale. Na inajulikana mzuri. Deputy president is entitled to security and the commandant of the GSU, not any other one. Hawa jamaa wa SCP ni majamaa tu wanachungaga kama MPs, hawa majamaa wa chini. Unaona? So hii mambo hakuja kuweka hawa jamaa GSB ni wachunge deputy president. Hawa jamaa wa Romeo they are elite bana. Those are trained elite unit whereby you cannot even go there. Kama wewe ni mtu ni mkurukenge hivi huwezi karibia pale. Hao ni jamaa trained and I know them very well. So jamaa kulete hiyo maneno yake ati hiyo ni upusi. Na mimi nataka nikuambie mzuri sana. Hii ni mambo tu wanajaribu kusuia ujamaa wetu. Huu namba 2. Wanataka kumsuia ndio asifike pale. Nao unasikia tena wameandika, kuna kitu wameandika leo tena. Wameandika ati kuna renovation as from next week. Karen. Mtasikia kitu kingine tena. Wataimplant kitu zingine ama jamaa wa SGP. Wameletwa pale nini Karen nini?
Let me ask you, Kiprono. There is another theory I saw Kina Lai saying that maybe it's Jubilee conspiring with UDA to make William popular and make him the only presidential candidate. So is it wanamzuia ama wanamfanyia mileage?
My brother.
Hakuna mileage pale.
My brother.
But it is his tribulations that have made him popular.
My brother.
No.
Sisi wa Kristo tunasema ni msalaba ya Yesu ndiye alituweka huru. After they are making popular, maybe they are using that to make him popular. Have they conspired to make him popular?
No way. There is no popularity there. The life of somebody is at stake. So listen to me well. So the life of somebody is at stake. Na mnakuja kucheka hapa hivi. Huyu jamaa sasa angefinywa na majamaa wa Kalia kidogo hivi na hiyo maneno imeisha.
Hawezi mfinya mchana. That was a daytime event. Hawezi mfinya mchana.
Wacha nikwambie. Sikiza kutoka kwangu mimi. Mimi ama security personnel. Hata naongea kwa kamera wanikujia sasa hii. I'm ready. Sikiza hata niko kazi sasa hii.
Don't go there. Just contribute. Wachana na ya personal.
Yeah.
Just contribute to the debate.
The best way to handle David president is not the way they are going. Let's handle this guy in a month. Kila mtu anasikia kweli huyu jamaa kwa serikali. Naelewa? Lakini sasa mkimsada huyu jamaa mara mna withdraw security. Haya ndio even legend hata sasa unaona the ground is hostile. Na tutaki kwenda pande hiyo. Kila mahali is just to be people who are listening to each other. Lakini mwambiwe number 1 bwana, aambiwe bwana Alpha, aambiwe bwana hiyo maneno anafanya na huyu jamaa India, huyu jamaa wetu huyu aambiwe hiyo maneno anafanya apunguze.
Okay, I think ni network yake imemhangisha. It's Themba, then we go back to
nilikuwa nataka niongeze kidogo.
Who's that?
Abdullah.
Jamaa amekwama. I don't know what is the problem with his network. Ya network yake iko na issue. Nani alikuwa anasema anaongeza?
Nasema hivi.
Who is that talking? I'm not even.
Abdullah.
Screen. Abdullah.
Yeah.
No, Abdullah, I gave you enough time. Wacha wengine waongee kwanza. You will come back to the second round.
Only 1 minute.
No, wait first.
We are talking about somebody who are not atamut.
Yeah?
Tunaongea juu ya mtu ambaye hasimami ballot paper. Tunaongea juu yake kila siku. Ruto hawezi kuwa president. Na hawezi kukania ballot paper.
That is not the issue. Achana na ballot paper tutaongea baadaye. Achana na ballot paper, today ni security kwanza. Themba, can you make your contribution?
Okay.
The rest, can we mute? I know some people just have to.
Baraza.
Yeah. Yes.
I think before Themba, let's pass this thing in a decorum way. This guy is not God of anyone who says that someone or Barasa will not live for tomorrow. So he should have a respect to each and everyone. Hata kama ni chokora, you never know about his tomorrow. So matusi apeleke huko kando, na kama amekula mlima imejaa kwa kichwa asongeshe huko kando. Hapa ni heshima.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to entertain that. Nimemwambia ngoje kwanza. Can we have Themba? You know, it's good to make contribution that helps even your viewers. Don't be so emotional and make personal. Vile una feel. Okay, kila mtu ako na feelings zake, but tunasmanage. Themba, can you make your contribution?
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, everyone from wherever you are. Nice to see you all. Someone is not muted. Kindly mute. Thank you. Still, someone is not muted. I don't know who is that who's not muted. Sam. I think it's Sam. Professor, can you mute Sam? Okay. So I really appreciate this time. Keep saying if you can be muted, keep saying. And now on the issue of the DP security, it is interesting that history seems to repeat itself. About 3 years ago, when there was hot campaigns on the trail, it was NASA and Jubilee, and the NASA principal security were withdrawn. Was withdrawn. Sometimes I really don't know who advises the government, especially around this time, because in the background of what is taking place already, about 2 or 3 days ago, there was the president came out so strongly about his relationship with his deputy. Then hardly 2 days or 3 days later, then we see this, you know, the change of the security personnel at the DP's office. It's likely to be read as a ill motive. So it might be a normal operational, you know, procedure for them to do that. But I think, in my view, the timing is really leaving a lot of things to be desired. Why would you want to change the security personnel around this time? In any case, I would imagine they would want to even enhance his security at this time. For any reason, if something would happen to him in the background of what the president said the other day, someone can impute anything that the state was involved in what has happened to him. So I think it might be a normal procedure, but I think the timing wasn't right. So as a citizen, I wouldn't wish anything bad on any political leader at this time. I wouldn't wish anything happening to that would compromise the life of any political leader. In any case, at a political season or whenever something is happening, the state should ensure enhanced security. This would give the DP side, you know, their right to make the noise, because we didn't like it. I mean, I remember Machozi Mondays like it was yesterday, and the other side were really happy when we were being exposed, you know. So it wasn't a very good feeling, you know. I wouldn't wish for whether I support Ruto side or not. I mean, well, I don't support it, but I don't think it's the right thing to do at this time. They ought to have handled it in a probably done it earlier, or enhance his security, you know, so that he's more protected, and if possible, he's available until the end. But right, the structural procedure will go on well, but the political implication is huge. You know, we've already seen that reaction in Eldoret. We don't know how much more that's going to continue. So this putting the country into unnecessary political mood. And if they are trying to manage something, it is actually working against it. So I would wish that the security, whoever is in charge with the security docket, they should also consider the political mood of the country at a particular time. This brings into focus maybe what I want to finish with, that it seems that there's either a group of technocrats who are not really conscious of the political implication of certain decisions. And that I'm seeing a very tough situation ahead. I mean, they will have to start managing. You see, when people feel like this is a political leader, I remember when we felt like Raila's security was withdrawn and we were all over. You know, we were feeling like, yeah, we all said like what they are saying right now, that okay, they can take whatever they want away. We are going to surround ourselves. We are going to protect Raila. You know, that was the spirit then. I'm imagining I can feel them right now. So I think for the debate, I don't think it's the right timing. Yeah.
It is the right time.
Who is that? Clinton?
Jake's wearing a Clinton's voice. Or a
is
voice. Or Clinton wearing a Jake's voice.
You see,
we are seeing twins here.
Wekesa unaona huyu Themba anajifanya eti anatuhurumia, lakini pia anatukumbusha ile iliyowapata mwaka wa 2017. Sasa unajua hajatuhurumia hata.
Anawafinya kimpango tu.
Anatufinya kimpango lakini anajifanya anatuhurumia. Leo ni sisi bana. Kesho maybe ni nyinyi tutawafinya. Lakini kusema ukweli mmetukalia.
Leo mimi
Anyway,
sina comment. I'm just here to hear what people say. Let's prosecuted.
So watu waache kujifanya wanatuhurumia, kumbe huko ndani.
No, I think Wekesa Clinton is not being sincere. You see,
in fact, if there is somebody who is never sincere on this platform, is this guy called Clinton, and that's why he always comes with a mask.
Clinton is very wobbly. Clinton is very wobbly.
Yes.
Clinton wacha mambo ya kukuja kuinvade watu hapa na time yake ijafika. So wacha wengine wa nini? Watoe their nini?
Sara, yani wewe tunalia, wewe umefurahia Sara,
Hata mimi ninalia, lakini nitalia kimoyo moyo.
Lakini mnajua nini? Mimi nimewavamia tu ndio nikipita. Wekesa, si unajua wewe ni mtu wangu. Mute hao wengine niseme hii point kwa dakika moja tu. Wewe ni mtu wangu, utakunywa zote.
Kwanza hata nataka kuachia moderate, nataka kulala.
Mimi bana niko busy tu kiasi tu. Sasa acha niseme tu maoni yangu. Juu hapa mko handshake wote. Na mmekalia mheshimiwa William wote. Hadi bendera mmetoa. Bendera tu, hii karatasi hii tu ya bendera mmechukua. Sasa iko hivi. Unajua nini bana? Venye rais aliongea eti I'm fed up, you can leave. These are the things that we expected. Lakini
Clinton wewe umechukua nafasi ya watu wengine kama nani?
Okay.
Umepata Sara hapa.
Sara ni mtu wangu. Sara ni mtu wangu. Temba, wajua wewe unavutana na mimi. Sara proceed.
Kwani mko watatu?
Nimeacha.
Wondering what is happening to the first line there.
Kuna watu watatu hapa wanajiita Clinton. Kwa sababu Clinton amepata huyu jamaa hapa. Clinton anataka kuongea aende. Hao wengine pia wanataka, hao Ayaga pia ni Jex. Jex bana, hao watu wameiba picha yako.
Na mbona leo niko
trend.
Acha niweke Karo Kangogo.
Kesa, can you give time to Samia, Nick, Tora and Enoch? Wachana mambo ya Clint hapa.
Sara, sasa sika Sara amekata. Huyu Sara wajua anavutana na mimi na tuko camp moja. Acha tu ningoje.
Hata wewe leo ngojea watu wengine.
Sawa, hizi banda za nani zinafunika hii majina sioni. Kuna mtu anaitwa Enoch. Kuna Enoch, kuna Nick. Yeah. Enoch and then Nick.
Yes.
Mbona hujamalizia
tena? Kindly contribute something to what the topic is scrolling there. Security details reassigned. What do you think? Was it a malice or was it a routine? Mimi niko na network problem ama nini sisikii.
Wekesa DP ametolewa, security unaita routine. Aki watu wangu.
Nimeuliza, I've asked a question, was it a routine or a malice? Nilianza na malice. Can you listen to both sides? Mimi I'm not taking sides. I'm just moderating.
The fact that Raila alitolewa last time haimaanishi sasa tumetolewa imekuwa routine.
Clinton nyamaza.
Nimenyamaza.
Enoch alikuwa naongea.
Enoch sijui ameenda wapi. Okay, let's go to Tara kwanza. Nick, Tara, before we come back to Enoch. Ni kama mic yake iko na issue.
Unaona hawako.
Okay.
Napemba hizi nipa hiyo nafasi.
I'm on. Can you hear me?
That is Nick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
can you proceed?
Yes, I think mine is brief. I think I'll start with the issue of insubordination, because when you look at the relationship between the president and his deputy, and if we borrow from models of other nations, when we see Kamala Harris and Biden, if you look at Mike Pence and Trump, you never saw Pence even raising his voice when Trump was doing his ukalulu. I think there's a role one has to play when you're a supporting candidate for a president. So when you look at that, and when we talk about resignation, I think my example will come when Igathe realized that he cannot work with Sonko. Wanaenda wanapanga hivi, wakifika kwa ofisi, Sonko is doing his own thing. So Igathe on principle opted to resign because he would be frustrated working with a guy, they're not heading in the same direction. So hiyo mambo ya kusema ati party ticket or you are elected, I think there's an order in which the system works. And when that order is disrupted, don't expect things to flow as normal. The second point for me is the Security Amendment Bill of 2014. Gave immense powers to the CS. That power that was being fought by the opposition, mpaka watu wakaenda kwa streets, watu wakapigana parliament. These are the things that are coming to eat those people who passed those laws now. So even as we are crying on behalf of our deputy that security has changed, some of these laws, it's them who caused them to come into being. So here we are crying that security has been moved, but the consequences of the actions are now coming to the forefront. What people had foreseen would happen is now clearly coming, that the CS has so much powers, or the president has so much powers, that even issues of security for people, close allies, are at risk. So even as we sympathize with the current situation, some of these things were created by the very same people they're coming to haunt. So for me, my prayer is sobriety will come into play. I'm sure the deputy president has enough resources to guarantee his own security, despite them things having changed. So let us look at the whole picture. How would you as the president react when your partner or the person below you is behaving in a certain way? So he wants to flex his muscles, and here the deputy also wants to flex his muscles, that he's right, he's taking a position, which is okay, but there are also consequences to your actions.
Hey, that guy has a problem with network.
Oh, you can't hear me?
The network.
No, he's very audible. Maybe it's your network. He's very audible.
Yeah, so the consequences, the DP, of course, must have been expecting these reactions. Even this is playing the fool, but these are things that they would have foreseen coming because of the way the political temperature is going, or the climate is going. Thank you.
For the contribution, kuna swali ama we move to Enoch may disappear. Okay, now we come back to Sarah. We come back to Sarah and then Ayaga. And not,
but mi nilikuwa na swali ama swali pia ningoje time yangu.
Uliza, si nimeuliza kuna swali ama tuende I think you are
Pemba anaweza kataa hata swali langu.
Yeah, so, uliza swali uliza.
The guy mwenye ameongea tu saa hizi.
I know you ask questions in paragraphs.
Man, I know I'm tangatanga, but must you attack me? Okay, why don't you let me in peace? So, the guy mwenye ameongea saa hii amesema maybe the DP misbehaved, as in hakujua roles zake. But mi naona jamaa amecheza tu kivyake. Amefanya ile kazi yote rais alimpea. Na to make matters worse, wakati BBI haikuwa imepitishwa, mbona hii drama yote haikuwepo? Sasa ni hasira ya BBI mmeleta kwa msee. He's the only opposing voice. So my question to you man, Kamala Harris wako na constitution yao na pia wako na nini? Kamala ni vice president. Roles zake ni tofauti na za deputy president. So I think we cannot compare the two. It is completely different. We should just let William Ruto do his roles according to the constitution, zile za kuadvise rais, za kufanya kazi zenye amepewa na rais, na kama amenyimwa kazi haimaanishi eti ni ghost worker anafaa kuresign. Akae hapo mpaka 2022 ifike, time yao ya kuenda nyumbani wakisha dissolve parliament. Hiyo ndio time mimi naona William anafaa kuondoka kwa serikali that he seriously worked to put into place. So I don't see why we should compare Kamala and William. Two different countries, two different people with different roles. Wekesa, nimemaliza
Okay.
paragraph yangu.
Okay.
Maybe I will respond to that.
Yeah, respond. Quick.
I think another thing is we don't have the whole picture of what the issue was between the president and his deputy. You see that we have no inside information for us to make a judgment that Ruto is clean or the president is clean. So until those things come to the forefront, we will not be able to fully comprehend. We can only second guess what actually happened. There are rumors within the circles of some of the things, maybe I will not say here, but there are rumors of certain happenings. But for me, I say that we don't have the full picture. And so we need to be careful, even when we are saying these guys should remain friends. You don't have the whole picture. People are friends at one time, na kitu inafanyika mtu anakosana. Especially if we use the example I was seeing yesterday, people are talking about a husband and wife. Until uingie kwa hiyo nyumba ndani ujue ile mambo iko. Whereas an outsider, you can only guess. And so let's be careful when we are saying these guys should work together, or we don't know the inside story. Until that comes out, then we'll just be doing guesswork. And so for me, is the order of things. If you see these people behaving in a certain way, they're politicians. Kesho utapata wamechange their goalposts. Sisi hapa nyasi ndio itaumia sababu sisi tunafuata blindly, and people I see even on this forum, people are emotional. And these leaders, they are friends. Wanaenda wanakula pamoja, watoto wao wanacheza pamoja. Sisi hapa ndio tunagwaruzana TDP na security ama nini. Let's not be fooled by these politicians. They're all the same. Railas, the Kalonzos, the Rutos, they eat from the same plate. So let's be careful as people when we are looking at these leaders. Look for them with a read between the lines, and you will be able to see there are certain things they're not telling us that we need to look beyond. So let's be careful, even as the moderator has been cautioning us, not be emotional. Emotional politics. Ukiingiza emotion, wewe mwenyewe ndio utajiumiza. Hao jamaa wanaenda kuchunga DP ati security wanampea. Jamaa amelala kwa kitanda yake sijui ni 6x9, analala usingizi mbaya sana. Lakini nyinyi mnaenda kupigwa na baridi huko. Tukue careful sababu as much as we want to have concern for them, these guys, let's look at them from a different eye as Kenyans, so that we don't fall into the traps we have been falling all along.
Alafu Wekesa, unajua kuna kitu Clinton amesema hapo. Clinton, the constitution says in article 131(1)(b), the president is the head of the state. That is 1A, and government. B says that he will exercise the executive authority of the republic with the assistance of the deputy president and the cabinet secretaries. So he can appoint any other cabinet secretary to chair cabinet, as you're saying at Yamenyimwa kazi. Then if you move down to the constitution, that's why yesterday I think is when we said that it is our constitution that has issues. It gives the president the prerogative to assign, the deputy president with the duties. Kwa functions of the deputy president, article 147 2 inasema hivi: the deputy president shall perform the function conferred by this constitution unaona functions ambazo hata hatujaambiwa ni gani. And any other functions of the president as the president may assign. Unaona? So when you are saying may assign, you are
Bana,
giving the president.
hatutambembeleza ape Ruto kazi bana,
Tuliza
atupatie
bana,
kazi kwenye hiyo
tuliza.
constitution
Unajua shida
inasema.
sasa, shida ni constitution. We need to be questioning our constitution. Inampatia
Apate
hiyo leeway.
constitution, atupe hiyo kazi DP afanye.
Sasa wewe
Okay,
wacha
thank
Hata
hasira.
you.
Raila
Thank you.
alikimbia akapeana handshake.
Let's
Wewe
have
ukinyang'anya security
let's have
lazima.
let's have Robert, and then
Clinton.
oh, Sarah is back also. Let's have Robert and then Sarah, and then we
Hey,
have two new guys. We have
Wekesa,
Nyax and
There are people
Regina.
who haven't. Wekesa is
si
just a moment.
wacha Regina na Nyax
Regina
wamalize ndio
has
tuende round 2
Regina
wote.
Yeah,
hasn't.
I'm saying there are two people who have just come in. We need to give them time also.
okay, sir, did I
So
come
let's
in at
have
7
Robert and then
p.m.?
Nyax.
Do I come in? Okay, sir.
Themba, hebu nitetee bana, hata mimi ni mgeni.
Allow me make my
Wekesa upatie hata Clinton nafasi hapo.
Hata Tanga sisi pia ni watu, though hatuna security, sisi pia ni watu.
Clinton, wana hii si
You
baraza
know
ya
the problem with Clinton is a professional question asker. He will ask everybody question. In the process, he will speak more. So we don't have a problem with him. He will ask each and every contributor a question. And he's asked structured questions. He can take 1 or 2 hours asking questions. Anyway.
Kindly remind Clinton that he is baraza ya chief.
Wekesa, I don't feel safe being attacked by Kieleweke and handshake guys, and
Your
you give them
security
time.
has been withdrawn also. Your
I
security
don't
has
feel
been
safe.
withdrawn. Okay, let's have Nyax to make his statement.
Okay,
I
so
know
you
Clinton will ask a question.
You said
I
it's
know
not
he has.
saying Nyaga.
I see he has already speaking, but he doesn't have a voice. I don't know what is happening.
Huyo ni wa handshake tu.
Yeah.
Ukiona wenye wanasumbuka na net.
He has a problem with the network. Robert, proceed.
Let's have Regina kidogo.
No, it is Regina and then political analyst.
How many moderators do you have on this platform? Wekesa, you need to tap your authority here.
I don't know why they are fearing Robert, and Robert he doesn't take sides.
Alafu kitu inanishangaza Wekesa, hata huyu Jake siku hizi hayuko kambi yetu kabisa.
Actually, Wekesa, allow me just to make a simple statement before I sleep. And mine is, as much as I'm not supporting
Wekesa, can you hear me now?
What is not happening. Someone is
kindly ukiingia una mute kindly.
Wekesa, I will ask that you protect me from attacks from Clinton attacks and the rest.
I'm reassigning you GSU.
Thank you.
Wekesa, hamtatukishia hapa na hiyo security. Umechukua kutoka kwetu na wapea. Ai.
Clinton, allow me make my statement, please. Now, Wekesa, as much as I would not want to support the happenings of the current official residence of the deputy president, I would make this statement. And I saw, I heard Zemba alluding to it, and I think one of the panelists. Our problem is one. Our leaders must be very mindful what they do with the power at any given time while they occupy these offices. Why do I say so? If you look at the security bill that was passed in 2014, it has got all this what we see happening today. And you see, then we had the deputy president. If his statement was to go by, that between that time he was indeed the principal assistant of the president. Then, if his statement is to go by, so looking at the kind of laws that were passed then, and looking at what the opposition then was criticizing about, and indeed some of the leaders warned them against passing some of these draconian laws, and they didn't take much interest into actually rectifying those things before passing them, because they knew a time like this would not come. Now it has come. And now my point is, at any given time, it doesn't matter who is at the helm of power. What is important is that you must be mindful of what you do with that office, the laws that are created under you, and whether you are in support of them or they are working for you at that particular time. You must be you must broaden your perspective in terms of what that might cost someone who maybe might occupy that office in your absence. So whatever I'm seeing right now is a case where the deputy baked his cake, and now he has been served with the same cake. So some would ask, why are you not eating the same cake that you baked? That is a question that somebody now should ask the deputy president, because he had all the time, he had all the power to do all this, and he saw these things happening, but he didn't take any action. But now he has been served with the same cake that he was baking. Why is it becoming bitter for him to eat it? That is a question that we need to ask our leaders. So going forward, and I'm not saying this thing should happen to any leader in this country. And we've witnessed all this happening to other leaders, including Raila Odinga, including Joe Amashon Kingi. At some point, we saw Joe driving himself to a certain occasion in Bomas when his securities were withdrawn. So this is something that must stop going forward, irrespective of the divide where you come from. Clinton, whether you are a supporter of DP or you are Wekesa, who is a strong supporter, and Demba, who is a strong supporter of Baba, this thing has to stop, because we don't know who will be at the helm of power tomorrow. What we should advise our leaders, or what we should warn our leaders about, is that whatever you do with that office really matters for the person who will come in tomorrow, or the same thing that you do with this with that office might befall you even when you are still in that office. So let's bake cakes that can be shared with anyone. Let's not bake cakes that can only be eaten by us at that particular time, and when it's eaten by another person, then it becomes bitter. Back to you, Ekesha.
Hope Themba amesikia vizuri
No
sana.
question.
Yes, Themba.
There's a notion. We are in a time of politics. There is there's a notion or a belief that the whatever we are seeing right now could be a creation of certain people who are working with the deputy president to enhance his popularity through the sympathy vote. What's your view on that?
Sure. Anything in anything in politics is possible, and those kind of scenarios cannot be ruled out. because as we speak, he is still the deputy president, and he still have the apparatus of occupying that office in terms of securities and even the briefings as a deputy president. So you can't rule out that, because you can ask yourself, when the president is out of this country, like we've witnessed in the past 3 months, he went to UK, he went to US, signing some bilateral agreements. Whom do you think was in this country, who governing this country? Of course, it goes by without saying that it was the deputy president. So you cannot rule anything like that in politics. And at a time like this really works for the deputy president, because it helps him seek that sympathy votes. And you know, he's a man who was blessed with a sweet mouth. He can convince anyone in this country to his ideologies, even when you totally see that that is not workable. So the deputy president will use this situation to his gain, and you cannot rule that in politics. Indeed, whoever did this, even if it was advice from the government side, then it was wrongly timed. The timing was actually very wrong. At this situation, you are only giving him support. If you do such kind of a thing, you're only giving him the sympathy votes, and he's gaining a lot by all these attacks. Then I think I've answered your question.
Naweza ongea sasa alafu nitoke. Moderator, Jakes.
Naona endelea tu juu hata kesa naona kama yuko endelea.
Okay, thank you. Temba nyamaza kwa time yangu.
Sasa Jakes.
Clint.
Yes, Sarah.
Clint. Ebu enda inbox, ebu ingia inbox uone kenye Wekesa amekuandikia. So before Jakes.
Yes,
patia new members.
Okay.
Kuna
Clinton wewe ni die hard. So tupe dakika mbili tusikize Regina, at least gender balance, alafu nisikize Josh, alafu nikupee. Regina, go ahead. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Asanteni sana kwa kunipatia huu muda niongee na nyinyi kidogo. Though I'm not a lady of politics, but I've been going through your chats, the way mnaongea, and I do really appreciate because you are enlightening my mind while I'm here in UK. And I'm so sad to see how Kenya is going on with the politics. Mimi sio mtu wa politics, but all what is going on there, I'm not happy with our president, the way he's doing. Actually, vile anavyofanya anazidi kuongezea Dr. Ruto more votes. In case of anything, watu wakasema wanaanza kuvote sahi, definitely I'm 100% Ruto will take the seat. But the thing is, all what is going on right now, nasikia watu wakisema sijui ni state machineries, what is going on, the government is, what's the government? Who is the government? Mimi ningependa tu kujua nipate kuelezewa government ni kina nani. Kwani kuna hiyo kiti, kuna mali imewekwa kuwa certain people they are the ones to have it. Ruto ni mtu ambaye amezaliwa kama wale wengine, and he should be there, and having there in a very short time, that shows that he has seen kuna mambo hapo kwa serikali ambayo inaendelea ambao maybe ashajua, and the government is scared of him trying to open up everything which is going on. And for me, and for sure, I can only vote for him because he's the only one to change the country. Our country is in a very bad situation in a way that hata mimi I'm scared right now taking my kids there during election time. Yeah, during this election time, I'm so scared to take my kids there kwa sababu I can't see security at all. And if that's the case, I don't know, hata sijui tunaelekea wapi. I think we normally vote, but we don't hand over the seat. Na kama hiyo voting basi inaonyesha kuwa haina maana ya kuwa kwa nini watu wa vote iwapo kama mtu anaweza peana kiti kwa mtu mwingine. Because I've seen they have joined like 5 people to fight one man. Surely it's really pathetic and it's really annoying and it's really so sad, even for a person who is not saved, to carry that burden of Ruto at the moment right now. Here in UK, everybody even is just so surprised on what is going on. And it's like, haya, kwani country imekuwa ni ya watu wawili ndio watawale the country? That cannot work out. Again, coming back to this point which we've been talking about, security at the moment, ndio agenda mnaongelelea ya security. To me, that one cannot work out. Hata kama sijui mambo na constitution vile inavyosema, I understand Ruto alichaguliwa akiwa na president na line moja, as in vote moja, walichaguliwa wakiwa wawili. Hakuna vile Ruto angechaguliwa na rais akose kuchaguliwa. So if it's a matter of change of guard, why did they not change for the president then? They should have changed also for the president. If at all they're counting hiyo yenye wamepatia Ruto sahi ndio iko safer, ama kama wataclaim kuwa ndio ilikuwa nzuri, then they could have done the same thing to the president. Okay. Hapo before kidogo nimekuwa nikiona kuna tatanishi kidogo zinaendelea, of which kuna mmoja wetu hapo nimesikia amesema this like a marriage, we don't know what is going on in the marriage. Fine. It has been opening up hata kwa mtu mwenye ni kipofu waone ama mtu wasikii anaona chenye kinaendelea. First thing yenye nasema kuwa inaonyesha waziwazi is the BBI. The BBI Ruto defected, alidefect na alisema point zake na akaomba kwa hisani kabisa, na sema kama ni mtu wa upole, ni mtu wa kuelewa polepole, msamela lakini mumueleze kwa upole, aelewe ukweli wenu wapi. But they didn't. Ruto, who is a lost learner, said they didn't explain to him until they took court 2 times and it was failed. So why do they blame him at this time? There's something fishy with our government, which I'm very sure Ruto is the only one who, out of that fishy thing which is going on in there, which we don't know. Right, hapo hatujui, bali Ruto peke yake ndiye anajua chenye kiko pale, anataka kutuondoa out of it. Mimi sina mengi ya kuongeza, ila tu niseme niweke tu my country mbele za Mwenyezi Mungu, maana that's where my kids are going back. Nilelewa huko but here, though I can't see their future in Kenya. Sioni kama mambo yatakuwa yako hivyo. Hata hiyo investment nafanya huko ninakuwa na ugumu kidogo pia kufanya hiyo investment iwapo kama in a way as in haiko stable. You understand what I mean? Kama country haiko stable, then even now unakuwa na uoga pia hata kuinvest huko. So I don't know, nitakuja tena kwa hii bottom. So pole kwa kuingilia kwa point nyingine ambayo Ruto alikuja nayo ya bottom up economy. I do really support him very much the way he's saying, because vile vile ilivyokuwa watu wanaangalia wale wa juu, lakini wale wa chini hawaangaliwi. But Ruto, because he want to start from this bottom up huku chini, ndio anaingiliwa. Kwa sababu gani? Wale wa kule chini wasiridhika. Nikisema hivyo, mimi coming from there is no lami, na siku zote tumekuwa tukiambiwa tutajengewa barabara, mpaka waleo sina lami mimi kwenye natoka. Na kama Ruto ataingilia mambo ya bottom up, atuanzie sisi watu wa mashinani. Hata hiyo wheelbarrow nita appreciate akiniletea. Kwa sababu gani? Asijawahi letewa hata na Uhuru get in the president, he promised laptop. Where are they? Wakati Ruto ana push hizo 4 agendas zifanyike, mwingine naye anavuta aingie kwa ndoa, ambao ameingia kwa ndoa sasa. Sikatai, and I'm not going to mention that person. Whatever the 4 agendas, they are out of it, is the BBI and something else right now. I'm so surprised to see him representing us somewhere rather than Ruto ama president wako ameshikana mkono kwenda huko. I don't know where we are going. Hebu nisaidieni wakati mnapo discuss hapo. I learned so many things and I would like even to continue listening to you. Na asanteni kwa kunipa nafasi, and I will still be coming to listen
listen to you what is going on, because I really want to know what is going on in Kenya, because I'm not really happy. I'm not happy about the way going. We can't really kid ama kusupport mtu fulani. Fine. On my opinion, mimi kwangu mimi, wakati BBI iliporaisiwa pale, mimi ni kama president labda alitaka kukul our former prime minister, ndio ampatia very soft way ya ku lead the country. Now he has finished, he's nearly finishing. Let him face Ruto.
Wow, asante sana Regina. Thank you for your contribution. Ingawa kuna wakati ulikuwa unapotea, but thank you so much.
Clinton.
Now Clinton,
Ama Sara ni aje? Si ni Clinton.
Jex.
Temba bana, what's wrong with you Temba?
Mimi ningekuwa na swali kwa Regina, lakini network yake ni mbovu, so wacha tu yapite tu hivyo.
Kwa sababu ni mgeni, wacha tumsamehe kwa leo.
Wacha tumwachie tu hapo kwa leo, sawa.
Kwa leo juu ni mgeni, wacha tumpe VIP treatment.
Okay.
Kesho akilog in tutamvamia kweli, but for now let me have Bonnie go ahead.
Really?
I thought it was Joshua. But anyway,
Joshua and then Bonnie.
Ni Joshua alafu Bonnie. Ni Joshua alafu Bonnie alafu Clinton.
Aya, sasa Joshua na Bonnie, who would go first? Any of you decide.
Joshua came first.
Yeah. Anyway, hello gentlemen and ladies. It's been a while, but I've been following this conversation even when I'm not here. But anyway, it's really nice to be part of this conversation. Can someone mute? There's a lot of echoes in the background.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. All right, wonderful. Well, I'm completely surprised by how we, the Kenyans, we take a very small aspect and then we explode it to be a very huge thing. Of course, we appreciate that we have it's a political year when we expect different propagandas coming out and coming in. We expect some issues to come up, either being manipulated within the government or either being arranged within the government. But what is the issue with the withdrawal of the security from the DP's residence? In the real sense, and this is a problem where we start using one clause to interpret it, forgetting other clauses on how to interpret them. Why do I say this? Today, the reference has been more onto the GSU role in the protecting of the VIP. And in that clause, it says that the role of the GSU is to protect the president, the deputy president, the state house, and the lodges. In the real sense, if I would use my own interpretation, because that is also my personal opinion, the resident aspect of the so-called deputy president, it may not be in that category of the GSU. It also falls squarely on the functions of the administration police, where they talk about protecting strategic and government structures. The DP premise is a strategic point in terms of security when you think about it. And in the organ of the administration police, we have the so-called SGB unit. The SGB unit is concerned with protecting things to do with the government premises and other installment across the country. They are equally even trained because in the same team they have this the rapid unit response and everything. What is the big issue with that? And let's take it this practically. If today or tonight Deputy President was going to trip at his residence in Karen, he will bring along the entire contingent of the GSU personnel that goes along with him. Is he not protected? He is protected. He is protected. The administration police who joined in the resident, are they trained professionally? They are trained professionally. So it depends on how we would want to see this story and manipulate it in a very mudslinging way to show how the president or the deputy president is on threat and everything, and how we start talking about he's being frustrated and so on. In the first place, he is frustrating himself. I think we've noticed that he's a double tongue speaker in this sense. Yesterday he talks about being part of the UDA. Then the following day he says yeye mwenyewe ni deputy leader wa chama cha Jubilee. Kwani ako wapi? We need to see where he is. And I think it was candy also for the president to bring out her frustration that the person that he expects him to support him in his achievement of the agenda for the country, it is not happening. And of course, it's fine that we all can have our opinion, our thoughts. But what control do we have? What control do we have? Will we then go to the polls come next year in August, go with our own feelings? What will inform us in our voting? The issue with us is because we don't vote on ideologies. We want to vote on sympathy. Even when the core matters that matters a lot for the nation are there, we do not want to think beyond our emotional feelings. Now, we want to say that the best candidate that we can have, it is that one who is being frustrated. It is that one who is being shown not to be fit because he's not supporting the president. But what ideologies are he bringing to the table? Are they not the same aspect that they are talking about within the government? What is the difference between all different approaches? There are no policies that he will come and change when he comes to the office. He will improve on the policies that he finds. And some of these policies are well integrated in the so-called vision, whatever 2030, different strategic plan that comes out, different framework that are within different ministerial or state departments. These are the
Joshua,
things that, yes.
Joshua, you can see how you're making the administration, the whole police department, the Mtembei family. You can see how Mtembei is happy. He's all smiling, happy. He's enjoying. You can see how Ayaga is full of smile. How Themba is almost celebrating. How watu wanafurahia. You are really touching their heart, eh?
Jakes, you are a moderator. Can you be quiet?
Continue. No, I'm just encouraging Joshua to know that he has the eye of the administrator on him. Go ahead.
That is fine, and everyone has their own opinion, and this is my opinion. So,
No,
in my opinion,
in short, we celebrate you.
in my humble opinion, the issue to do with the withdrawal of the GSU personnel, the coming in of the administration police to the DP resident, it is a non-issue for Kenyans. It is not something that should worry us, because by the end of the day, if we were to take that cross of the GSU that says it is to protect the president, the deputy president, the state road, and the state house. Here, we are not talking about physical thing. We are talking about the physical thing here are only state house and the road. We are talking about individual. It is about the individual. I can also use that interpretation to say we are protecting the individual. So at the moment, do we know where the deputy president is? Yes, we know, because he's sleeping somewhere on a facility that belongs to the government. And do we have GSU securities there? Yes, they are there, armed to the teeth, to everything that they've been provided by the administration of Uhuru Kenyatta. That is also the deputy president is part of it. So the issue to do with this politics of the sympathy, the emotional feeling that I'll vote him because of the Hurubaro. That is nonsense on my opinion, although it is an opinion of another person. So let's argue candy, and let's not just use one clause of that whatever I've seen.
Joshua, I want us to discourage the admin kidogo. Hebu remind us uko wapi? Utavote kweli wewe?
What are you talking about? not just voting, eh? Not just voting, eh?
Unajua unaweza encourage hapa admin afurahi na kumbe hii kura yake iko mbali hata itapigwa.
Can I tell you something? Jake, let me tell you something. Even 2017, I was abroad and I came back. Even when I failed in the nominations, even 2017, I came back to do the voting.
Hiyo siku tutafunga airport. Aya, endelea.
No problem. Tutafunga airport, tutakuja na Mary. There are different forms of entering the Kenya. So, but that is my humble summation. For me, the issue to withdraw the security from the deputy president is a non-issue for Kenyans to discuss. There is no security threat unless they want to create one, because they can create it. They can create it because he's smart enough. He can create that and play a so-called sympathetic baby crying scenario like our own Meguna on the other side. So we are used to these propagandist issues to do of telling us they are giving us a presser at 5:28. What is this to do with this 28? I've always been seeing these bloggers talking about 28. 28. What is this 28 minutes? It's still crap, Bwana. Well, thank you.
If you don't understand the 28 you ask,
ungekuwa Kenya na John Zembele
angekupea
kitu.
So what does 28 mean?
28.
But you just made a conclusion that it is crap. You still want the meaning?
Well, you can inform me. I will appreciate.
I beg to tell you that it is crap. As you
Thank
just
you very
said.
much.
Jakes, I can now have my 1 minute, yeah?
Hata mwenye nilikuwa nipea amepotea. Go ahead.
Na sasa umenidelay mpaka system ameingia, hata nikubalia kweli.
Usijali, Mtembei leo hawezi kukuuliza. Leo amekuja kuchukua points.
Mimi Jakes, last week nilianza kulialia hapa nikisema kwamba my party leader ajui kunyamaza. President alimuongelesha juzi bana, haikuchukua hata 4 hours. Asha organize. Kwanza nasikia alienda SDA, hajaienda because it was a Saturday, ilibidi atafute kanisa ya SDA hiyo siku aende amjibu. Kungojea mpaka Sunday haingewezekana. Alafu kumjibu pia unaweka junior officers wana construct some dangerous sentences. Wewe unakuja kumalizia etc toki. Unajua hiyo ni direct sana. So I think kunyamaza ingekuwa at least ameambiwa atoke, bado tunangojea reply wake. Unaona kama baba, sitaki kumuita baba, acha nimuite Mheshimiwa Raila. Akiongea once, kila gazeti itasema kwamba baba speaks. Then what if my party leader speaks? Will it be Ruto continues speaking? Because yana speak kila siku bana, hata kesho. So yani amespeak mpaka tume lose interest kwa kuspeak kwake. Akiitisha hiyo media unasema tu I already know what he wants to say, maybe nitafuatilia nikipata time. Lakini ukiambiwa president ana address nation, baba ana address nation, hata akiwa Nakuru una tune. That one aside, bwana Jakes, Ruto is the only senior government official according to me mwenye ako pale juu na hatoki huko kwa kina Mtembei. So akitoka akose kureplacewa, ama akitoka waanze kumreplace, unadhani ni nani anaweza kumreplace? So I think Ruto being there at least inatuonesha sura ya Kenya. ODM naitanga the face of Kenya. Lakini the moment William atajitoa, tubaki na rais, tubaki na attorney general, tubaki na speaker National Assembly, auditor general, tubaki na those senior most government officials.
Kwani Clinton nao wakibaki hawatakuwa na sura.
hata kama Mount Kenya iko Kenya, hiyo form si haionyeshi sura ya Kenya, unaelewa? At least tukuwe na matribes kadhaa huko mbele, huko juu.
Naona umeanza kuattract hasira ya Mtembei. Ngoja tu wacha usikie tu swali utaulizwa saa hii.
Sasa si wote wanatoka Mount Kenya, au wenye nimewataja si wako Mount Kenya, isipokuwa William Ruto. So William Ruto akanyagie tu hapo, kwa sababu before BBI ianguke hivi venye ilianguka, wajua huko High Court ilianguka vizuri, at least ilibakisha nafasi ya kutembea, lakini venye imeanguka kwa hii koti ingine hii imefanya rais akakasirika sana. And William Ruto is also right in a way, kwa sababu anasema na mdharau rais. Yes, tumeona evidence kwamba he disrespects the president, lakini wale junior officers wanamuita clerk and then they are not punished by the president. So yeye akidisrespectiwa it is okay, yeye akijibu ama akianswer back it is not okay. So at least tungekuwa tunaona rais anasema you are a junior officer, you are misbehaving maybe by abusing William Ruto, I am firing you. Tungekuwa tunaona kuna heshima fulani. But hapa William Ruto anatusiwa, kesho ananunua watu. Ketu Warugura alisema ni 50k wanalipwa, anapeana hiyo do, unatusi rais. Sasa wanakasirikiana tu kila wakati, but all in all,
kuna difference between hizi baba mbili, baba ya small letters na capital letters zote.
Hakuna hiyo kwa akili ya mtu wa ODM iko tofauti. Watasema baba mwenye akona capital letters ndio Raila, alafu baba wa small letters sasa ni baba mzazi. Kwa akili ya mtu wa ODM, uliza Yaga atakwambia. Lakini kwa sisi wenye tunaamini Mungu, hakuna tofauti.
Hakuna tofauti.
Ina depend ukitunga sentensi baba umeiandika ikiwa place gani kwa sentensi. So Jex, kulingana na mimi bana William Ruto asitoke, hii serikali itakaa tu, haina face ya Kenya kabisa. Hata kama hana kazi, akikaa hapo tunajua rais anatoka Mount Kenya, deputy Rift Valley, ndio sasa sasa au wafanyikazi wanaajiriwa sasa, we don't care wanatoka place gani. Lakini Ruto akitoka tu hivi, bana tutakuwa tumepoteza face of Kenya. So it is my humble request akanyagie hapo tufike 2022. Alafu hiyo speech ya president alisema eti Raila has always been a candidate and he is a candidate even without BBI. Si hapo amesema tu jamaa tosha. And you still expect William Ruto to go and dance with them in Mombasa, dancing to Baba's tunes. It is not possible. Yeye pia anataka kiti kama anavyotaka baba. So I think he should be given his space. Saizi ni deputy president, apewe all the trappings of power, because haja resign. Na hiyo mali ya serikali anatumia pia ni mali ya serikali, si ya mtu binafsi. So I think the guy deserves better treatment. Mpaka ile time atamua. I told you last time the guy will resign, but not now. Saizi tukitoka kwa serikali, tutahudumiaje mama mboga? Tutaendaje Harambee? So acheni kutuharakisha, tutatoka.
Kwani muliingia serikali tu juu ya mama mboga, kwani hamkuingia juu ya watu wengine pia, watu wa dosi?
Jex, do you depend on mama mboga to eat? Hapo Nakuru si unaendanga kwa mama mboga kula.
Lakini kama mkulima angepanda hiyo mboga, kungekuwa na mama mboga.
Sasa ukiwa mkulima unapanda mboga, si ndio huyo sasa wewe ni mama mboga ama baba mboga in that case.
But yes. Clinton, you have this narrative of mama mboga. Since we've been seeing this, the so-called Western Bloc negotiating this what economic thing, we've heard about the coastal people negotiating something. How many mama mbogas have you seen in those meetings?
Hata mimi nashindwa, tunasemanga tutaunda nao serikali na hawakuji kwa meeting. Sasa hata hao mama mboga wanatulet down.
So stop selling us fallacy of things that we cannot understand, and even the owner and the initiator of the idea do not understand the concept of it. That is a problem in Kenya, because that polarization of the country, that the mama mboga are the people who mean sense. The boda bodas are the people who mean sense now. That is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. And soon they will come to discover that they are being taken around corners. Then we will be having a totally different scenarios to speak about politics. But for now, we can celebrate whatever we are talking about. I think in January, we will be talking something tangible of where the nation is going or which direction we are going. For now, we can speculate and keep all different propaganda. So, yeah.
But Joshua, when the president wants to support Baba with the Baba mkubwa venye jamaa ameandika hapo, kama anataka kumsupport Baba, si afanye tu polepole, kiupole, kiungwana. Mbona azime sauti ya mtu anapingana na Baba ndiye support Baba huyo Baba? Si aende tu amsupport polepole, alafu Ruto pia ajipange na support yake, wawili hawa wakutane kwa debe, they square it out. Kwani lazima Ruto apigwe kofi akae chini ndipo Baba apate urais? Jex, moderator, nikimalizia. Najua Joshua na Themba watanikubalia. Junior handshake. Jex, nikimalizia. I used to support Rais wa Mama Mboga, but I am developing a cold feet. Why? I always feel bad when I see pictures kina Mutembei wakipost eti in 30 minutes time he will be addressing the nation. Yani akona kitu cha kusema wakati wowote kila mahali, hata akiambia hajalishi anaambia kina nani.
It is not 30 minutes, it is 28. You need to quote that 28, eh? You need to quote 28.
Jex, can you protect me from the handshake, Jex?
Sasa
ama umewajoin?
Wewe umesema uko na cold feet, wacha wakupe joto.
Okay,
Clinton.
Themba, can you leave me?
No, ngoja Clinton nikuulize swali. Unajua at no point huyo president wa Mama Mboga hakuna wakati aliwahi kupiga handshake. He was always in the middle ground. He goes at one place, he says and I support. He goes at another and I poke. Eventually, even up to the time ilikuwa inaenda kwa Senate, kwa bunge, he had not given any direction to his people. He told them, you go vote according to your heart. So
that's
even
where
you coming here to start and suggest that ati alikuwa anapinga handshake, hakuwa anataka BBI, that is an afterthought after the court's decision of the Court of Appeal.
So let me finalize.
So can you kindly be honest with yourself and with us?
Clinton, one last thing to you. I think it is time that our good friend from the Hustler Nation, the so-called the reader, the initiator, I think he need to go back to the grassroots and borrow the nice advice from none other than the so-called what do we call this guy from Rinjiro, the guy who the PA of the late Moi. That gentleman, he can get a lot of wisdom. Recently, when he was being interviewed by, I think almost 1 year or 2 years by Jeff Koinange, he mentioned and said that people in power need to understand wewe ni mtu wa kuja ni kutume. If he take that narrative and understand that, then he can become or continue to become a very good deputy
Sasa
president.
Kwa hii yetu ni tofauti kwa sababu hata tukijileta hatutumwi.
That's a good thing. That's the good thing. But you know another thing, he is very lucky. We are not in Moi era when ministers were being sacked on Kenogi Highway and the police leave you at the road, by the way. He is very lucky. He is very, very lucky. So let him borrow the reef from Rinjiro.
So that we
the
don't
reason
have
I'm developing a cold feet. The reason I'm developing a cold feet. Let me summarize because Sarah ako karibu kunivamia. Please.
Ndio hata tupewe wengine, okay. Haya.
Because nikiendelea kuongea hivyo utaona Sarah ananiingilia hapo. So, the reason I'm developing a cold feet is this. Recently, I heard my party leader say that amepigania freedom bana huko enzi za kina Kenyatta au marais wabaya yeye ndiye amewatoa. Sasa hiyo kitu imeniaibisha hapa bana, nikikutana na marafiki zangu hapa wenye tunapingana nao kisiasa wananichekelea mpaka wa leo.
Mnaitanga system ya fact.
Kuna picha Mtembei anapost Ruto akiwa ameketi karibu na Biwott, Moi alafu Ruto. Hiyo time alikuwa na mashavu. Eti alipigania aliwatoa kina Kenyatta na kina Moi, uongozi mbaya. Surely hata kama umekosa kitu cha kusema, si ungebaki Karen, au uende tu address hao watu Mombasa lakini usiseme uongo. Mbona jamaa anatuaibisha hivi bwana? Second point, Jakes, as to why I am developing a cold feet. Jana jamaa wa Equity ameongea. Si my party leader ameruka kusema hivyo. Sasa nimekuja hapa bana, nimemtetea iko kwa record, alafu anarudi ananiacha hivyo kwa stage surely. Na mimi nimekuja hapa nikapambana na kinawekesa mpaka nikawin. Jana mimi kumbe nilikuwa nasema uongo. Lastly, I don't like this notion whereby William Ruto anajifanya kama inaitwaje, mwokozi wa watu maskini. Jakes, hizi vitu William anasema, some of them cannot happen. In fact, kuna kitu alisema kwa Citizen TV kwamba ata lay down structures za tax. And it is very true, Kenya hatulipi tax. Na rais mjanja kama William mwenye atagundua watu wanafaa kulipa tax, Kenyans will cry. Ukiambia umeuza kuku 250, hiyo 50 ni tax, ndipo utasema yenyewe. Because it is only in Kenya utachukua ng'ombe wawili uende nao sokoni wauze 40k, ubebe hiyo 40k kwa mfuko bila kulipa tax. Na serikali ya William itahakikisha umelipa tax. So people will still cry, and they will cry loudly. So Jakes, mimi nimewaacha hapo tangatanga kwa sababu ya double speak. Na kitu imenitoa zaidi ni enyewe mlifight mkatoa Kenyatta. Kenyatta alitoka 1978, William Ruto alizaliwa 1950 something. So at 19 years alishatoa Kenyatta. At 24 hivi ama 25 akatoa Moi. Na hii at 55 at 30 something akaeka Raila PM. At 39 Uhuru president. At 55 anajieka president.
Sasa
So mimi hiyo double speak, Jakes, Luwere.
Mimi niko na swali, hata kama si ati nina defend mtu leo. Niko na swali. Uko nchi ya majuu na najua unajua kuna difference between I and we. Ruto alisema I kicked out the president ama alisema we?
Eti I do what?
Alisema I helped remove the president, the imperial president ama alisema we?
Nafikiria alisema we kwa Kiswahili.
Okay, so
tulipigania sijui demokrasia ama
wakati Kemboi anashindanga gold unasemanga I Kemboi has won ama we as Kenyans have won?
Bwana, mbio ni tofauti na soka. Soka utapeana pass kidogo utembee, lakini mbio venye nani anang'ang'ana kwa line refu alafu unataka aseme eti wa Kenya tumeshinda. Gold ni yako peke yako bana.
The more what na celebrate mtu kama Mkenya tukiwa na ngeli ya wingi, ndio watu nasema sisi kama Wakenya tulijipea katiba. Mtembei akiona BBI imeshinda anasema Wakenya wamefurahi. So hawa Wakenya wanakuaga kina nani? So Ruto aliongea akasema we as Kenyans, hakusema I as Ruto. So kuna difference.
So that one doesn't matter, Jakes. The fact remains alisema uongo. Hii uongo uongo ndio tunajaribu kuangalia. Uongo unaweza sema uongo kwa wingi.
Usiingie kwa dhambi, usiseme alisema I, alisema we.
So Jakes,
na Mtembei anaweza kukuprovia. Mtembei, go ahead.
Zinamaanisha the same.
So we as Mtembei ni same na I as Mtembei.
That's the same thing. Kwa sababu muongo atakuongelesha kwa wingi ama kwa umoja. Sasa hiyo siku aliamua kutuambia uongo kwa wingi. Kesho pengine itakuwa uongo kwa umoja. Mimi William. Hiyo siku ilikuwa mimi William na wale wengine. Kuna echo bana je. Sasa sijisikizi bana.
Kuna jamaa anaitwa Lawrence, anaona umekaa sana mpaka hataka kuongea.
Lawrence, you mute.
Clinton si mtu honest na Clinton si mtu honest na ukisikiza conversation yake si okay Clinton okay.
Endelea
tu Lawrence. Namalizia then uniambie hiyo kutokuwa honest kwangu juu mimi na support William and I criticize at the same time. Lakini wewe ni baba yule wa letters kubwa.
Jex.
Yes.
Nataka kusupport hapo. Yenyewe hapo Ruto alisema yenyewe ni ukweli, hata si usema we fought for our independence, lakini sisi lakini ile kitu Clinton anasema anything he says can be used against him.
Haina shida as long as if you are able to
maliza eko kwanza bana tuwapati.
Lawrence mute your mic. Mtembei nimeona ame-unmute. Hebu tuambie tusikie tofauti ya I and we. Unajua Mtembei ndo alipea advice ile ya Orengo. Mkumbuka Orengo alikuambia now.
Hiyo ndio nimefika wapi? Hiyo now na verb.
Wale watu wanatumianga jina we ni wale watu wanajua at least kuna mahali walikuwa na participate. Lakini Ruto huyu jamaa amechukuliwa na Moi akiwa university, akapewa gari, akapewa shamba, akapewa sijui kila kitu. Then all his life in politics alikuwa na Moi. Then unakuja hapo unaanza kwa kudanganya watu as we fought for MP. That was total nonsense. So Clinton nani Jex usijaribu kusema eti we yako kwa we ayuko hapo.
Eti we na I kuna tofauti. Bora umeaddress wa Kenya whether utumie I.
Nimeuliza tu swali. Alisema I ama alisema we?
Alafu on the same kitu umesema Mtembei unaona kwa hiyo uongo ingine ya wakati Moi alikuwa anaondoka sijui Uhuru akawa anashindwa kura wakaenda State House. Hiyo uongo alisema wakati Moi alikufa. Ile speech Dr. my former MP anaitwa Dr. Salikos Gay alienda kasoma kule kwa mazishi ya Moi. Yani aliandikiwa tu ile kitu ya kudeconstruct kitu William alisema pale kare. William alisema ni yeye alitumwa kuendea Uhuru wakati Uhuru amelemewa sijui Gatundu na hiyo result akamwambia jamaa sijui hivi. Salikos Gay kuja na another version siku ya mazishi. Ilibidi niache kuwatch juu I thought kitu William alisema pale Karen ndio ilikuwa
nikuulize as much as he support venye unasema ama nina support umeona hiyo concession speech?
Sijai.
Bas enda kwa YouTube. Mtembei yako nayo anaweza kutuwekea alafu uone kama Ruto alikuwa hapo ama hakuwa.
Kukua kwake haijalishi. Alisema ni yeye aliplay a major role.
Yes, exactly. Anasemanga kila mtu alipotea but he stood with him to the last minute.
So akiendelea kutuambia history ya kufanya Raila PM, kufanya Uhuru president, kutoa Kenyatta kama president mbaya na kutoa Moi kama president mbaya, ajiweke kama rais. Thank you for your time.
Wacha tusikize Sami. Sami amekusikiza mpaka na doze. Sami endelea.
Na Kizito atolewe. Anaingiaje kwa show saa 8 usiku? Alikuwa wapi?
Mpaka na doze. Sami endelea.
Saa mimi nimewasikiza kila mtu amepeana idea zake.
Anaingiaje kwa show saa 8 usiku? Alikuwa wapi?
Mpaka na doze. Sami endelea.
Saa mimi nimewasikiza kila mtu amepeana idea zake.
Anaingiaje kwa show saa 8 usiku?
Mimi nasema hivi, mimi nimewasikiza kila mtu amepeana idea zake. So kila mtu ni kujenga Kenya.
Sami kidogo tufanye aje? Ebu mute YouTube yako. Mute YouTube yako baka. Ebu sikia kidogo fanya aje? Umeacha device mbili, uko both kwa YouTube na uko kwa StreamYard. Mute YouTube ndio wache kuwa na rebounded voice. Mute YouTube. ama upause. Pause YouTube, ubaki kwa StreamYard peke yake. Umefanya hivyo? Endelea. YouTube. Ama upause. Pause YouTube, ubaki kwa StreamYard peke yake. Umefanya hivyo?
Sawa, ngojea.
Endelea. YouTube. Ama upause. Pause YouTube, ubaki kwa StreamYard peke yake. Umefanya hivyo?
Sawa, ngojea.
Endelea.
Yes, by the time
sawa, ngojea.
Endelea. Sammy, are you okay now?
yes, by the time
Are you okay?
Wait a minute.
Okay. So okay, let's continue as you work on your end. Kizito, kidogo tu nipe Mtembei sekunde 3 aongee, amekanyangia point ako nayo. Alafu ndio nikupe Kizito.
Unataka kuniruka checks tena?
Ninapea Mtembei kidogo. Mtembei.
Jex, kuna mtu amesema eti hiyo security ya Ruto imekuwa bottom
Hata
up.
nilikuwa na unmute. So thank you very much Mheshimiwa Jex. Nimeona watu wakisema eti Ruto amenyang'anywa security. In fact, I wish nini GSU wangetolewa apatiwe watu kama G4S, hapo tungesema amenyang'anywa security. But sasa ametolewa GSU akapewa nini APs. Kwani APs ni police bando na wako na guns? Unajua this guy is not working for Kenyans. Anafanya kazi kivyake. He is not even doing anything that Uhuru ana support. Anafanya ile kazi anajisikia nayo. Siku hizi ameenda head to head na Uhuru, anamwambia my friend, I cannot surrender, sijui no retreat, sijui no what. So what are Kenyans paying you for? Kukaa Karen? Hatuwezi kuwa tunalipa Karen. Mimi actually I'm thinking of kucancel ni taxi yangu. Sitaki kulipa taxi tena.
Bana, lipa tax. Deputy President ni moja na ni Ruto. You have
By
to
the way,
contribute.
by the way, Mtebei brings a very important point there, because one thing we need to ask ourselves: who pays for all those unofficial functions that happens at the DP's residence, the official government residence? That's a big question, because all those meetings in the real sense are not on the government part of the duties. So I will not be surprised if the government at the end of the day would present a bill to him, because this happened. Even when the president has visitors in State House, on a different, I think, invitation, they also have different billing. You cannot just misuse the public fund because you are a president or you're a vice president or whatever. So I'm just curious about those functions that we have every day. I think no wonder people always complain that they are only given a bottle of water. Is it the reality?
I don't know. Complain, Joshua. Joshua, you know you just hate us from the bottom of your heart.
Oh my goodness! I'm a very humble person, and I don't even have hatred for sure.
Kama hizo za ujinga hazisaidii anybody, ni kwenda.
Alafu huyu jamaa safa peaceful
anatuingilia. Unawaleta ikulu ya Karen, wanalipiwa na serikali, unaendea Wakikuyu, unaendea Waembu, unaendea sijui Waluya, unaendea Wajaluo kesho. then wakisha kuja Karen nasema mimi I'm not a tribalist, sitakangi mambo ya tribalist, genius. Nonsense.
Mutembei, can you sleep? Hasira toa hapa bana. Tulikuwa na debate vizuri.
Mr. James, I have a question. I have a rebut here, please.
Yes, Kizito, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I will try to be very fast. First, you know, old people like us, we sleep early, but I always watch this thing up to the end. But today, it really attracted me so much to an extent that, Jakes, please, my brother, come to the reality of life. I never joined just to talk about you, but you've even seen there's a light in the tunnel. I don't say that the president is going to be. Just the same thing that Jacoredo said today is what made me to enter this platform today. How comes somebody is talking this, tomorrow is talking that? The most typical example that really pained me, just in the Citizen TV is saying, mimi ni mtu wa Oda. When he's in Mombasa the next day, I'm not Oda man, I'm a Jubilee. And you are following him and you are saying that you are a Oda man. Which Oda are you going to? If even the person who is the Oda principal is not there, are you going to remain in this house without a roof?
And I've been calling my party.
Secondly, the people who are talking about security. Security is security. So long as they have guns, they have been trained. Even those APs, they are the best trained people that can help Ruto. But when Ruto himself, he said, alinyang'anywa everything. He doesn't even have work. It's not even his lieutenants are saying the Ruto is not being given anything. Why should the government give him the security then? Why don't they give? Because he's with God. Let him give take G4S. They are also security. Because I don't understand what you people mean by security. If you want a war, if there's a war in Ruto's residence, then talk about army or those things. But there, you just need security. Security, even Jimmy Wanjigi, who is the billionaire, even this Mwangi, all of them, they are not being protected with GSU. They are being protected with G4S. Those are the security people. And to make it worse, they are the best because Ruto is advocating for bottoms up. Bottoms up. I really support Ruto in that. Let him take KK, G4S, because those are the bottom up. Anaweza kuwainua. They go up and they become GSU. Why is he complaining? Take the G4S with the bottom up economy, put them up to GSU. Atakuwa ametusaidia.
Kizito, I think you are now threatening the deputy president.
Jacoredo, just
that is now apply bottom up in security.
You know you are our prodigal son. Just come back to Baba the way you started coming. We welcome you. And next time, you know, a man, you don't ask a man where he comes from in the middle of the night. Thank you.
Oi, moderator yuko, somebody moderate. Mimi moderate sipati nafasi.
Na check sisi umeniacha sana huko, naona na share huko kwa backstage.
Mtembei, sijua mnyonga. Unasikia? Ningependa kuchangia. Na mambo mengi sana yamefanyika Kenya. Sipi kama sisi ni watu wanaangalia yenye imefanyika kuanzia independence. Kama walitengeneza katiba nchi hii, angalia mahali makosa nyingi imefanyika. Makamu wa rais wengi wamepoteza uhai yao.
Hupatikani vizuri.
Rais na asubuhi afikirie kama anaweza toa makamu wake wa rais. So lazima tusiangalie naibu wa rais kwa sababu ni William Ruto. Tuangalie ofisi ya naibu wa rais ambaye kila mmoja alipigia, si kila mtu but wengi walipigia kura katiba mpya mwaka 2010 kuhakikisha kwamba ofisi ya naibu wa rais, ofisi ya rais, ofisi
Boni, hatukupati vizuri jameni, ama nyinyi mnampata?
Hatumpati, nini yake iko na shida kidogo.
Boni, log out and log in. Niko hapa kwa dakika mbili,
alafu akuje baadaye.
Log out alafu rudi. Mtu next kuongea nyuma ya Boni, hivyo hivyo haraka tuendelee.
So haya mambo kwa umakini kwa sababu wengi tunalia ofisi ya rais.
Rekebisha net bana, tukupati.
Na kesho tujue.
Mtu next alikuwa nani? Opere, ushaongea?
Ni sisa naongea sasa kidogo. Mimi ndio nimekaa backstage sana.
Sisa, leta picha.
Ni vile kuna kitu nafanya ningeleta picha but with time usijali.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah. So kwanza wacha niwashukuru sana kwa hii show yenu, na mimi nakwanga ni mwenyeji wa kila
utaniambia.
Yeah, but
sawa, ukimaliza utaniambia.
Mwenyeji wa kila yeah, but Mnanipata ama sauti yangu mnanipata ama sauti yangu imepotea tena?
Okay, mtu next.
Can I go?
Yeah, you can, Nelson.
Okay, thank you. Mimi kwanza, I think Kizito, I wish he was still around. Kizito has been like, he has turned the whole show into a comedy show, but we understand him. We resonate with his reasoning. We understand where he's coming from as well. I think the most important thing is that people must understand and appreciate the fact that the office of the deputy president is not an office of assistant chief. This is an office that should not be politicized in whichever way. He has been given the office has been given the mandatory rights of and privileges of having the tight security details. And you cannot just wake up from one day and then you start saying that you can even as well take a G4S, KK, and those are the security guards. Or even imagine that you can replace those security that he has been using with an AP. So
Nelson, do you know that security in Africa is highly exaggerated? Do you know that?
Notwithstanding the exaggerations, notwithstanding the exaggerations in Africa, what we have in this our country of Kenya, you can't tell me that when it is 1 year to the election, allow me to finish. You can't tell me that when it is 1 year to the general election, you can't tell me that is when the president and the handlers of the president and the Minister of Interior and the AG of police wants to realize that all along the security of the deputy president has been exaggerated. If at all there is anybody who has a very big exaggerated police security and the rest, it is that IG and even the Minister of Interior. So let us not put anything related to politics to the office of the deputy president. I have always maintained in this show, I don't support him. I don't support Odinga. I don't support Kalonzo. But anything related to politics should not be put near the office of the deputy president. Because today it is Ruto. Tomorrow it might be that Kalonzo or Sakaja. The person occupying the office should be well separated from the office he is occupying, notwithstanding. Having said that, I keep on saying this to Raila supporters who are in the house. My brothers and sisters, don't be shocked one day. Don't be shocked one day that all these shenanigans, theatrics, dramas, and games are just but to keep you people busy, only to make Ruto president come 2022. Because it is also in the history of this country that an outgoing president, whenever he supports somebody zealously and wholeheartedly, the person never ascends to power. Why? Because the people feels like the failures of that president are attributed to the person that is supporting. And so automatically, by default, they will be like, shida zenye tumeona na huyu ndio tutaona na yule akiingia. So you might be surprised that this is just but a deal. Now, let me give you an example of what happened in 2017 with Joho and the then senator of Mombasa. What happened? Joho, in the first term of 2013, got into power to be the first governor of Mombasa. Broke a deal to get some tender of SPR.
Nelson, kiasi tu. Nelson.
And what
Excuse
happened?
me,
They
Nelson.
started harassing him. He was being beaten left, right, and center. The GSU were on his neck, being barred from attending the presidential gatherings and events in Mombasa. All these things was to make Joho popular and popular. 2017 came, Joho won election for the second round, and after that, people did not even concentrate on his poor performance in the first, but they concentrated on the emotions that he was now calling. Oh, they're fighting me because I'm defending Costerians. Joe was not defending Costerians. And then what happened? He was elected. 2018, the deal that he made in the first election, in the first term, he now got it of the SGR deal. It is by default that if at all Uhuru Kenyatta could have just supported Ruto throughout, right now, no one could have been listening to Ruto even talking. Even this Hustler Nation thing could have not been created and could have not even operated. So it is even by default, but that he is not supporting him and he is concentrating on Raila Odinga. He wants people to hate Raila because any failure of the Jubilee government is going to be associated with Raila because Raila is now supporting his mediocrity. And then people are going to say, you see, Ruto alikuwa mjanja, akajitoa. Sasa huyu ndio mtu mwenye anatujua, huyu ndio mwenye anaelewa maslahi yetu. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked that maybe in everything that you read that the president is supporting Raila, maybe you just don't know that he is working 24/7 to make Ruto the president. Because by default, people will always be voting to punish. You know, we want to punish Uhuru. He is bringing Raila. Let us now punish him by taking Raila home. And the only person who can defeat all these people ni Ruto. At the end of the day, mimi si support mtu yeyote kati yao, lakini tuache hizi siasa za upuzi za kusema eti Ruto achukue KK security, M4S, juzi yeye ana support bottom up. Sasa hiyo ndio bottom up. The office of the presidency should not be anywhere near politics of AP, politics of KK, politics of G4S. Who can defeat all this campaign? At the end of the day, mimi si support mtu yeyote kati yao, lakini siasa za upuzi za kusema The link is not working. Ni kama watu wametoka studio wote.
Kwani watu wameenda wapi?
They have gone for break.
Tuko.
Yeah.
What is the problem?
Mocha, go and
Mbona
tell us something.
mlikuwa kwa nani? Mboni ama Steve? Mboni? Mbona unaniangalia uongee? Okay, Steve uko hapo?
Niko.
Okay, then kama then simchangie bro. Nyamaza
I think
inakuwa
there
ni
is a problem.
kama umemaliza watu wewe.
Umepea nani nafasi? Mtembei. Are you there?
Hello.
Okay.
You're there?
Yeah, we are here.
Okay. Can I ask a small kind of question? The guy who has
Steve, uko
talked
na kitu
since before.
nataka kusema kitu, nataka kufunga sasa since hamna contributions.
No, we are waiting to give a chance.
Do you
Unapea
have something
nafasi.
to say?
Tuko simtupe nafasi tu.
Wewe usikii what's wrong with this?
Mocha, go on and tell us
Steve, uko na
something.
kitu ya kuchangia?
Okay, thank you for
Mocha.
the chance. Okay, thank you for the
Yes,
chance.
I have something to say. Which one?
Kwani
So,
nafasi gani?
mimi nasema
Ngoja mmoja ongee. Nani anaongea mocha? Mocha. Mocha, endelea.
Hello.
Kama una kitu ya kusema Steve.
Nani ongea ama mtu mwingine?
Steve, endelea.
Steve.
Okay, then you guys ni kama hamna kitu ya kusema. Acha muonane tena kesho.
Niongee ama Can I talk? Can I talk?
Endelea boss.
Hello? So mi ningesema hivi